Tick tock, tick tock. Are we alive? Hello? Does anybody hear me? Hello? Ads. Oh, okay. Hello, everybody. I hope you guys can hear me loud and clear because if you can, then that means everything is running a-okay, and then we'll be able to go and talk about shenanigans that have gone down within the past week. Boys and girls, my name is KG Prestige, and welcome everybody back again to another exciting edition of the PokePod World Podcast, where me and my pals are going to gather around to go and talk about the latest events that have went down within the past week. And there is quite a lot to go and discuss, so without further ado, let's get ourselves right into it. I'm going to go and hop into the call, and then we're going to go from there. Hello, buddy.
Yo,
There you are, man. How's it going?
good. I literally just came back about 10 minutes ago.
Oh, man. You literally just came back. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, yeah, get yourself a custom buddy, before you get into tonight's call and make sure everything's all fine and dandy. And then let's discuss things that have gone down within the past week. I know in particular you're probably going to want to talk about something specifically with somebody else as well. Hopefully she'll show up as well to talk with you about it too.
Mhm.
But for the most part, yeah, hopefully everything has gone well for you, buddy. And
Well,
gone?
I got two manga today that I've actually had in my cart,
Mm-hmm.
and I have them in my hands, and that
Nice.
is Pocket Monsters Aniki edition, which is the comedy gag manga from that was the successor to the Sun and Moon one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the one with red in it. That's the comedy manga with red in it. So finally got that. And I got the Nagatoro-san comic anthology, which is the manga that is comprised of chapters written by other mangaka.
Nice. Now, I always love anthology series because it always does a good job in fleshing out certain stories that you never would see be approached in like the main manga itself. Because there are some that I enjoy, like gal. Well, some gal mangas they have this where they have side stories that focuses on other girls that don't tend to get heavily focused upon because it always focuses on one girl but never all of the other ones. So
Mhm.
anthologies always do an amazing job with fleshing out the story, especially when it's approved by the mangaka themselves.
Mhm.
So yeah, I always love anthology sets. I actually have one for over here for Monster Musume because they actually did an anthology of some sort for up to like 4 volumes, I think, and then it just randomly stopped.
Mhm.
But I really enjoyed them for what they were. Getting different artists to draw different like chapters and see how they approach the Monster Musume world and slice of life approach. It's actually really
Mhm.
nice to see. So yeah,
Yeah.
let me just make sure everything is running fine here. It seems to be doing fine. Yeah, the Azure Lane Anthology also has some as well. I think there's Anthology Comic and then Anthology Comic Breaking, which is supposed to be just another sub series to the anthology set, but features a lot of the characters from the current releases that they have for updates. So yeah, there's so many versions of anthologies out there, and I can't wait to just get the opportunity to read more of them at some point soon. But to just make sure everything is running fine on your end, buddy, let us
Mhm.
get set to talk about just exactly what it is that are going to be our main topics for tonight. Because obviously, as you know, Smash Brothers had their presentation earlier today in the morning. So
Yeah.
that definitely is
Akasia.
gonna, yeah, Bakasia from Tekken joining the Smash series. Now this was something that they announced during E3, but we got full info and a breakdown and all that stuff in the presentation. So we're gonna obviously be breaking down that a little bit and just talking about some of the things that they revealed in it, as well as some of the stuff that also kind of killed the mood for certain people, certain fans, I should say. Then after that, we'll also be taking the opportunity to talk about the Sonic 30th as well. As you know, Sonic 30th anniversary had just came out last week, and they had a whole orchestra presentation going on as well. So that's
Mhm.
something I kind of wanted to dabble for like a couple of minutes. It's not going to really go on for like extended periods of time because at the end of the day, it is just an orchestra. You know, it's just 2 hours of
Mhm.
music, and if you're a big music fan, you'll definitely enjoy, or maybe not, some of the tunes that they did in the medleys within the orchestra set. So, stuff like that we'll talk about, and then of course. The fact that, and I think this might be our first topic for tonight. It's sad to see all of the good anime from this season go, man. I am
Yeah,
so
Nagatoro's
sad.
one. Yeah, Nagatoro's
Nagatoro,
gone.
like, recently I was actually watching a little bit of it with folks over at JPR's Discord, where we had a reaction to the final episode of Fruits Basket because the finale came out literally today, and so everybody was watching it there
React.
in JPR's Discord. And also, are you okay there, buddy?
I just said react.
Oh, okay. For some reason, it sounded like you were having a frog on your throat on my side. That's all. Yeah, like
Yeah.
that. So I just want to take a second to talk about some anime that finally ended during this season before hopping into the summer anime of uh, of 2021. Obviously, as stated before, Nagatoro-san that came to a close. I recently got the chance to binge watch some of the finale as well for it with the that president, man. I'm just saying, I need to see more of her in season
Mm.
2, buddy. But yeah, so if you enjoyed Nagatoro-san the first season, I think they did an amazing job with it. The
Yeah,
opening song is incredibly fitting for what the series is about, especially if you take the lyrics of Easy Date or Easy
Easy
well,
Love
Easy
Night
Love.
Date.
Yeah,
Easy
Easy Love
love,
Night
dude.
Date, and if you say it very quickly, you'll notice that it'll say something familiar to the title of the series itself. So it's really stuff like that that I really enjoy. So Nagatoro-san, it came to a close. For now, maybe there will be a second season. I don't know if we got a confirmation on that, but I mean, it's just so good to not get
Well,
a second
also the
season.
next chapter. The next chapter is coming out on the 6th.
Hmm.
No.
So
Well,
yeah, can't wait for that
uh,
because well, we're gonna get hopefully we're gonna get more of biker tits. I hope.
well, second season. Let's hope for that.
Yeah.
It is kind of funny because this was the season where we kind of traded series, TSS. Because what you did, what you're getting Nagatoro-san from me, I got from you Iruma-kun, which is what I binged
Yes.
through within this season, and it's still going. Thankfully, into the summer season, we're not ending it here yet. It's still going to go
Yeah.
into summer 2021, and I'm very excited for that because, I mean, they're going to cover a particular arc that I'm excited for, and
Mm.
I will say so far from the spring season content that they had, Irumin is one of the best characters in the goddamn show, man. I love Irumin so goddamn much. I don't want to break down exactly what it is that I like about him because there's so much to go and discuss for that all on its own. But he really changed everything for the series moving forward, and it's gonna
Mm.
be incredible to see where the story's gonna go next now. Because you got to think about it.
Mm.
Because like the reason he came to be and the thing that he accomplished that
Mm.
shouldn't have been possible, yet he managed to do it. And then the ending of that arc, of course, when he reverts back to normal, but they came out with a big reward at the end. It's incredible. So, Ino-Makun's first act of season 2 has been incredible in my eyes. I loved it so far, and I cannot wait to see how things are going to be handled in the second act of the
And
series.
finally, and finally, a few days ago, we had some confirmation that the full song of No No Satisfaction is finally coming out in the summer. They did not give a date.
Sadly.
I'm not
But
laughing at that. I'm sorry. Something passed up on Twitter that made me laugh. It said there should be an Olympics where athletes can take as many drugs as they want. Like fuck it. Let's see how high humans really can jump.
Well, they did. Well, they did. Well, they kind of did that, and they failed. It's called Ben Johnson.
Oh shit! But man, I just imagine you get yourself a gold medal, sir, and he's just collapsed on the floor.
Yeah. Or he like runs off with it and tries to pawn it for money.
That's assuming he's alive after taking all of that shit, man.
Like even though you win money for winning the Olympics, he pawns up the medal like he completely doesn't know.
He's in
But
a whole nother world at that point.
continue with the Nagato.
Oh man.
Because I'm gonna watch that show literally this. I want to say this week if I have some time. I just gotta
Oh
put
man, it's
it
a
away.
fun show to
You
binge through.
gotta, yeah, yeah, because like I said, I think what really makes the show, of course, is the voice acting. Of course, the content of the manga itself is fantastic, but I will say that the content of the anime itself and the voice acting associated with it
Yeah.
Yeah.
is
It was
is just great.
selected beautifully, man. They chose the
Yeah,
right voice actors for the
because
right characters.
the one that plays Nagatoro, which is Sumire Uesaka, and of course Daiki Yamashita. I mean, this man is everywhere. You know, his interpretation of senpai versus, like, let's say, freaking,
Yuruma?
versus Go
Oh, there it is.
is like a great, it's like a crazy comparison.
Mm-hmm. But I loved
All right.
all the other characters too. Like for me, Sakura, done by Izawa Shiori, I loved her voice in
Yes.
that was so perfect. But I can't skip out Yoshi though, because her one-liners
Yoshi,
are so good
yeah,
too.
but the thing is like they casted the right people. Even when you look at like the manga, you could really see that they definitely chose the right voices to suit their personalities. They casted the right people for sure.
Holy shit! Hold on a second.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
No, I'm looking
Hey, Polly.
outside my window because I'm hearing a lot of boom, boom, boom sounds, and it turns out literally at the very
Fireworks.
bottom of my apartment building, people are setting up fireworks. So I'm just
Yeah.
hearing loud bangs right now.
Well, here's the thing. They do that shit in my back, like literally 20 feet away from my fucking house all
Yeah,
the fucking time.
They almost like I want to say a week before and 3 weeks after 4th of July, people shoot fireworks.
Yeah, because it's like Cinco de Mayo, fireworks. 3 weeks before freaking July 4th, fireworks.
Yeah.
3 weeks
2 weeks
after
before
July.
Christmas. Yeah, 2 weeks before Christmas, fireworks. What the
Wait,
fuck?
hold up. No, hold up. That one's
Hold
weird.
up.
Wait, hold up. That one's weird.
No, it's like
Ah, look at
changing
all
of
the
it's like
snow.
Labor Day fireworks.
Any excuse to just lay off
Alright.
fireworks, man. It's incredible.
Thanksgiving fireworks.
All
Happy
right.
Leif Erikson Day fireworks.
Supreme Court ruling, fireworks.
Oh man.
National Day Sacagawea became a national golden coin as $1 fireworks.
Yes.
I think it was the 27th.
So, in a weird turn of events, I pulled into my driveway exactly at 10 p.m. I don't know how that happened.
Oh, and
Do
the
not know how
fireworks
that
went
happened. Oh, no, well, not the fireworks. but-
Oh, okay. I was
Just-
The
wondering.
pot. She's saying she came in just in time for the pot.
Yeah, just
Just exactly in.
This is the power of Ultra Instinct.
yeah.
It's the power of Eric Stewart.
Yes. I don't know how. If you
We'll get
said
to that,
any.
obviously,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah,
Because
I'm sure
I
you guys are
specifically
gonna
asked
talk
for
about it.
TSS to hold on to that take
We got a
until
lot
you
of
got
shit to
here,
talk
of course.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but if you guys want to take the chance right now to talk about it, go right ahead. I think we managed to talk about some of the anime stuff from this season. I know there's some
Yeah.
that I skipped, like Dragon Ghost House Hunting, Slime 300, Slime Diaries. Of course, we were talking a little bit of Iruma-kun, but there were some other shows I was also watching as well outside of that. But like Agent 6. Overall, though, this season has been a lot of fun, and the slice of life / comedy aspects of this season, I think, we're at their absolute A game with this one. So, overall, this season was great. I can't wait to see how season 2 is gonna be like, because there are some shows in there I'm excited for, but not as much as, say, this season we just came through. My hero's just sort of there. Dragon Maid
Love
season
My
2
Hero.
though is
I'm sorry. I guess I'm the weird one. I'm loving My Hero.
No. I mean,
Oh,
because
no,
like
I didn't
I'm not
know.
liking that decision that they made recently.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if you know about that, Tyrone. Maybe not.
Yeah,
but-
okay, so I'm pretty much down with it. They switched a couple of arcs around order-wise.
Yeah. So I'm not sure how
I think it's
feel
because
about
the
that.
two are unrelated.
No.
I don't know because I don't know what happens after that. I'm in the middle of reading. I have 60 more chapters left to go, so I had to figure out if it like is not going to make sense at all.
Yeah, well,
If it is.
we'll just wait and find out as the weeks pass by. Then we don't want to
Yeah.
accidentally spoil anything, but it
Oh
does
no no
suck
no.
that it does suck that two arcs had to have kind of swap places this time around, and yeah, we'll see how things turn out for My Hero. I will say the
Mhm.
opening is visual wise very mid. I'm very disappointed by that opening
without
visual
being
wise.
without being too specific, I kind of understand why they put this arc in this order, anime wise. Because when reading it, obviously you're going by it a lot faster, so it doesn't stick out as much. But watching it, obviously, the goal on putting something on television or on a website or something is that they want to show off the main characters, and it's really hard to do that when you got a whole arc devoted to not main characters. So they got to do this thing where it's like, well, shit, these characters are popular, so we got to show these characters off.
I just thought it was because of the movie that's coming out that's featuring
Yeah, that
characters.
too. Yeah, that too.
Honestly, your
That too,
explanation is
honestly.
great, but in reality, it's for the movie.
Well, no, I'm saying, I mean, it connects to that. It's
Yeah,
because they're the same three characters. They're
yeah.
popular.
But we'll see. We'll find out, I guess, in due time. Not very far off anyway for
Yeah.
that. But anyway, I think that's pretty much it for the most part. Season 2 is going to be, or not season 2, the summer season is going to be a lot of fun. With Dragon Maid, with Iruma-kun's second act of season 2, and some other shows as well, such as My Heroes we were just talking about. So, yeah, let's see how things shape up as we continue on in this new season. But now I'll pass this on to TSS as well as to Polly, because you guys had a fun experience tonight, or I'd like to believe, which is something that you were talking about last week, I believe, TSS.
That's correct. So Eric Stewart performed at the bitter end tonight. His first concert up here in about 2 years, and actually his first concert that he performed in front of like a real live audience in like 2 years. So first of all, I just want to say the bitter end, they did spruce it up a little bit. They did change a little bit around, but it still kept the same character. Um, Eric Stewart and Phil Nix absolutely on point, considering they haven't played together in 2 years. Great set list of music. They actually performed an additional song that wasn't on the set. And on top of that, I got the set list from Eric and he signed it for me. So, and really happy on how this turned out. And as I mentioned before that, we went to Kinokuniya and I picked up those two manga that I mentioned before. Can't wait to read those. But overall, a great evening. Was able to talk a little bit to Eric after the show, and it's really cool when you have when Eric knows you personally. That's really nice, you know. And hopefully he'll, you know, I asked him if he's coming back at the end, like before the end of the year. He said yes, but he's not going to be doing a show, so it's kind of unfortunate. But it is really cool to be able to see him, and plus his music is great. It really, and there's no doubt that, you know, he has accomplished a lot in his career, both musically and in the voice acting realm. But I'm really glad that he's able to still perform in his 50s now, and he's still very energetic and very into it. And he mentioned himself that the reason why he didn't do the online concerts is because he wants the energy from the crowd. He does it. He it's a participation from the crowd. It's not just, you don't get the same vibes and energy as he put it in a Zoom call. So I thought it was just a great overall experience.
Oh, so should I add to that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, you also wanted to talk about it too.
I
yeah?
also was there.
You
Yes,
were there, Polly.
I was there. I agree. It was a great evening. Obviously, it was very nice catching up with my good buddy TSS. It was
Yay.
interesting because I think it's like Kevin and I have hung out together. You and Kevin have hung out together, but the two of us haven't. But no, we had a good time. We caught up, and this is the first time I've been to.
Thank you for the bitty bits, Joker.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, thank you for the 100 bitty bits. Much appreciated. Sorry to interrupt.
I like
Polly,
a
but
situation where
Okay.
Polly went there to see Eric Stewart and TSS there, and TSS does like the hand over his face thing. Like he doesn't want to be seen.
No, because I ordered 2 drinks.
Yeah. But now continue with the story. Go ahead.
yeah.
This is the first time I've been to New York City since before the pandemic, and the last time I was there was actually right before everything started. I should have said the Backstreet Boys. Right before everything started, when I saw the My Hero, the second movie.
Oh,
Heroes
this is like a
Rising.
good fucking movie.
Yeah,
I
it's a
just
good
watched
movie.
the movie like 2 weekends ago.
Yeah, and that's the last time I was in New York City, and then everything happened, and I have not been there in over a year, so it was interesting. Obviously, TSS and I were talking about it, and he's used to it, but it was definitely a lot quieter and less people around, and
Yeah.
just an interesting experience. But the bitter end was the same as I experienced last time. And for those who also don't know, TSS and I have an interesting story where before we officially knew each other, we had gone to three of the same events, but we didn't know we didn't know each other at all.
Right.
And the first was in
Or
2014.
playable characters yet.
Yes. The first was in 2014, when we were at Pokemon Symphonic Evolutions at the Man Center in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
The second was the second. No, yeah, the second was the bitter end when Eric Stewart performed there, and then the third time was Elton John, sometime in October at Madison Square Garden. So
Yeah.
it was just, and then after
Farewell
that,
Yellow Brick Road, which is kind of funny because I actually wore the freaking Farewell Yellow Brick Road MSG shirt.
yeah,
Kind of funny because that shirt has literally been sitting in my room since I bought it. I think I bought it on like the second show that I went to of that run. I went to 3 out of 4 shows, and I literally have not worn that shirt since like 2018.
yeah.
So that was like the first time, and plus it's like, oh, it's appropriate. It's all cotton, and when the fuck am I gonna wear this again?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I also like the set list. There are a few songs that I do like that he didn't play, but I think those songs actually need a little bit more instruments. Maybe not. But
I mean, you have 2 acoustic guitars. I mean, that's it.
yeah. One of them, one of my favorites, he was like in a music video. So I don't know if that, maybe he didn't have the other people that he wanted. So,
Mm.
what was I gonna say? Oh, well, the best part is that I will link the artwork here so that people can support the official link and the official artist. This is I commissioned this 2 years ago, and it's Butch and Cassidy. A little bit of a Neo shipping artwork, and I got Eric to sign it, and I got him to say make it double. And eventually, when I hopefully meet Megan Hollingshead someday, I want her to write down "Prepare for Trouble" on the Cassidy side. So the poster's in my room. Obviously, it's signed, but you guys, I think it would be good to support Nova, who drew it for me, and it's beautiful every time I look at it, and I am excited to hang it up in my little basement area. And I was expecting him to say more about it, but I think he was just so caught up in seeing probably people he hadn't seen in a long time. So the line was kind of moving fast, and we couldn't really get a chance to speak with him for too long. But he's like, "Oh wow, yeah," he said that. So he did recognize Butch and Cassidy, but last time I was there, he actually did the voice of Butch for me. But at that point, we were. It was raining. There weren't many people around. We had stayed later, and I was able to talk to him and ask him to do that. So yes, I am very happy. Overall, very good night. Thank you, TSS, for letting me know that this was going on.
You're welcome. I mean, Eric. The funny thing is, Eric actually invited me personally to come there because he knows I always go to his shows when he comes down to the bitter end.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. I don't want to take up too much time. The only thing that I got at Kino was the collector's edition of the second part of the GSC manga, because I feel like at this point the only way I'm gonna finish it is if I read it in person. But I have to get the first part. And then
Yeah,
I
but-
also got, huh?
Yeah. Well, you said you only got one thing, but you got two things. So.
Yes.
Same.
I got My Hero Academia Vigilantes, the first album, because I want to start reading that.
First volume. Yeah.
Yes. So yes, that was our very lovely evening.
Well, I'm glad to see you guys had a good time. At the end of the day, that's what matters the most.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And of course, sprinkled with the random homeless people in Penn Station, which is always fun.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. One day, hopefully, I'll see you, Kevin, soon. I
When
didn't
you
really.
said-
Yeah.
When you said the
Huh?
homeless people were fun, I just imagine you guys taking pictures with them. I'm sorry.
You
said they were
here's
fun.
a tip.
Right.
No, it's fun. It's fun to look at, but not to interact with.
Go ahead, Polly. Continue what you were saying.
I said no. I was saying. I think I tweeted this, but ironically, yesterday was a year ago. Yesterday was the last time I saw Kevin. So, Kevin, we gotta see each other soon.
Well, that all depends on whenever we have the free chance to do so.
I know.
And I still got to
know.
get
Okay.
my vaccine shot at some point
Oh,
as
yeah.
well because I'm still
Yeah,
stuck.
yeah.
Jesus.
You should probably look into that at some point. I mean, you could. I mean,
Jesus.
anybody. I mean, you can probably just walk up and get it at this point.
Yeah, except I just got to make sure I don't have those thingies on me. So.
Just don't go to the wrong streets. Hey, man, I got you shot right here.
Oh man, really? Thank you. Hold on, I'll be right there.
Yeah, I'm running out, so we're gonna have to share.
Gonna give you that lead infusion in your.
we got to share needles.
This one requires 4 visits.
Right? Oh my
Exactly.
god! But it's good. Actually, you guys have pointed out something I really do like. I went to a coworker / friend's birthday this weekend, and it is good. Like it's showing the signs that like the world is very surely returning back to normal in terms of like interactions with stuff.
Yeah, I hate it.
Oh yeah, it's kind of bullshit, honestly. Fuck people, cuz.
But screw these interactions, damn it. What be in my company?
now I gotta make plans that I gotta cancel on. See, that's rude. How am I gonna tell all these people that I can't show the fuck up to this thing I didn't want to show up to?
Damn it.
I mean,
Oh my god! But no, on a serious note, I'm glad that the people who do like to go out there, they're enjoying their time. They're leaving. They're hanging out. I'm starting to see more pictures on like Twitter and Facebook of people going to places and stuff like that. And after hearing Polly and TSS is like having a good time in a social place, it's good to hear. It's good to hear. I mean, we joke about it. We joke about staying inside, but in the end of the day, like when you go out and you have fun with folks and people and friends and family, it's good to share memories, and you can only share so many memories in the living room.
I don't know, man. Video games are my life, bro.
I know, right?
yeah.
Well, at least we also got it. We're also able to go to Ichiran as well, and
Yes.
yeah, have a
Very
nice have a nice bowl of ramen. Like I said, Ichiran is expensive. Yes, I know, but every single time, but Ichiran is like the comfort place where you know that what you're gonna spend at freaking $19, but also you don't have to pay tip, and on top of that, you know the quality is gonna be high every single time, and they're gonna make it exactly the way you want it. Because in other places, it's like you're gonna pay like anywhere between like $12 and $17 for a bowl of ramen, but maybe one day you might get it like where the broth is too watery, or it's like shit, or it's like, yeah. But out of all of the places that I've been to, there's only a couple places in the U.S. that I've been to that has been very consistent in terms of quality.
Yeah.
I love ramen.
Yeah.
Ramen is good. Yeah, I want to go to a ramen place soon.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've last had a good ramen. So
yeah, actually, me and KG need to do that, because remember the last time that we saw each other a couple of months ago, we went to freaking Korean barbecue, not ramen. We were gonna go ramen, but we didn't do it.
But hey, that
good
barbecue
too,
was good too, and that cold soup was also just as good too.
Yes, because the cold sesame noodle, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, I should bring you to that too, Polly. It's a great Korean place over there. The
That
meat
sounds
is
good.
phenomenal.
Listen to the woman. That's
I do like make Korean
There's an
barbecue.
inside joke with the listen to the woman shit. It's incredible.
A woman.
It's like every time I try to prove a point, I always seem to get deflected with every single fucking statement. And the chopsticks were the ones that whooped my ass in that day.
They do one of the Korean restaurants, like the one that's in my town. We have one called Wudon, where literally you take the meat and you put it in the middle of the table and it cooks itself. Like you cook it. Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. Those are the good.
Well, actually, this place they cook the meat for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
They
And
have
also-
two
and
options.
also
They
they
can
just
cook
give
it
us a
for you,
bunch
or
of
you
meat.
can cook it.
Oh yeah. In ours, they just give us a bunch of meat and then you throw it on the table and
Yeah.
the tables are
it's
killing.
basically the Korean version of yakiniku, which is
Yeah.
great.
Oh man, but
It's
all those
absolutely
side
fantastic.
dishes were just so good too.
Yay.
I want to go
Yeah,
back there
they
again
are.
already. First though, we're going ramen, and then after that, we'll talk later
Yeah.
about Korea.
TSS took me to ramen when I first went to New York.
Yay.
Mhm.
It was like super cold and we were walking through the snow and slush, but yeah, we
Wasn't
made it
that
to
also the same
ramen.
time where Richie almost died?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got killed. He almost got killed by the Zamboni.
Yeah.
Yeah. Literally a sidewalk Zamboni. Like.
I just find it sad that that's the way Richie almost went down. Like that of all things.
What did you do in New York? I got hit by a Zamboni.
Oh, I'll rip Richie.
And he's like dying in the snow, and they played fucking Regret from Persona 5.
Someone asked, "What's a zamboni?"
It's almost like a street cleaner, isn't it?
Well, no. Now there's now it's not exactly a Zamboni. A Zamboni is actually the correct definition of a Zamboni is it's those vehicles that run across ice rinks to shave the ice off. This one was more like a drivable snowblower
Oh, okay.
where it was clearing the sidewalk, but freaking Richie was in the way and freaking got a mountain of snow dumped on him. And
Nice. Nice.
You say that as your friend's getting snowed
like that.
alive.
I just
Nice.
imagine this Obama Snow from the Mega Evolution thing.
Nice. Oh man, but
God.
yeah, good times, and
You
hopefully we
can't
can
make
relive
those
those.
memories stuck in the house, KG. You can't almost die
Yeah.
by a Zamboni in the house.
Well, yeah, at least listen. The kind of experience I want are not death-inducing ones, man. Like this dude almost died, and I wasn't even there to see it either, so I don't know what was going on there. Oh man, but-
it happened behind me. I'm like, oh, what the fuck?
yeah, it's like a blink and you'll miss kind of moment.
Yeah.
Oh man, but all right. So yeah, like you said before, Taran, it's great to see that things are starting to get back to normality, and hopefully at some point in the distant future, we can all eventually do our shenanigans together as a group once again, and have a good time. You know, at the end of the day, that's what matters the most. After all, life is very limited, so it's you got to do what you got. In the time that you do have, because nobody knows how much time we really do have, man. I do want to bring up a little somber story. Kind of caught me off guard today. But thankfully, I do want to just clarify in advance. She came out okay in the end. So everything is fine and dandy right now. My grandmother, and most people might know this story already, that my grandmother has been in Mexico because that's where she lives. And it wasn't until, I think, 2 years ago, literally before the pandemic happened, that I got the opportunity to reunite with her in person again. And last time I remember seeing her, I think I was only like maybe 2 to 3 years old. And I was so happy at that moment to finally see her come back again and, be able to embrace her at the time. And we actually had plans for her to come back to see her, actually, because there was actually not planned to be a pod this week. Because I was actually going to go away for a bit to head over to Mexico to pick up my grandmother to then bring her back here to NYC. Because we were planning to do another second trip, right? With her. Thought, hey, it's the summer season. Let's go have fun with the family. Unfortunately, she had a little bit of an incident where something happened to her and she could not come because of that. But ultimately, things went a-okay. And and this is what I was trying to prove a point with before, saying how time really is limited. Sometimes We never realize just how little time we really do have, and sometimes the more we think about things, the less time we actually have doing those things that we think about. And it's important to always make sure to, when you ever can do it, to take that opportunity, make sure you live the most of it, to make sure that everything comes out okay, and you just be happy with yourself. That's the most important bit. Be happy with yourself, be happy with what you're doing, and never lose sight of what's important to you with that stuff, because time really is truly limited in this world. And as long as you know that and you make the best of it, then I'm happy for you. But I just want to bring that in mind, because I just want people to understand that it is important, man. But the reason why I brought that grandma story, because how relevant it was with what we were talking about just now, and also, she's okay now. She's definitely okay. She's
Good.
I don't understand how. Honestly, I won't question it, because there are some things in life that I swear to God should never have played out the way it did. But she somehow decided to, I guess, avoid all this like shenanigans, like sad shenanigans, and she's somehow a-okay in almost every single situation. She's like 92 years old, man. So yeah, more power to her. I want to be like grandma when I grow up. Just somebody who keeps defying death every single goddamn time. Seriously, I could go into
Like
more.
Betty White.
Pretty much, yeah. She's the Betty White in my family. But nah, seriously though, she's doing fine. Everything's all good, and hopefully we'll see
calling
her
her
soon.
Mexican Betty White.
Yeah. I don't know how that trend. Actually, there is there Betty
Betty Blanco. Betty Blanco.
Betty Blanco.
Betty Blanco. Yes. Betty
Oh my God.
Blanco.
Oh god.
Oh God. Yes.
Yeah, grandma's built different. Goddamn, man.
I'm built different.
Oh Lord. But yeah, so cherish. Hashtag Betty Blanco. But yeah, cherish the time you got, ladies and gents. It's very important to always keep that in mind. But now let's go ahead and move on a little bit. Why don't we move on into some more happier news and talk about celebrating franchises, and also celebrating characters coming into other franchises. Let's kick things off with Sonic the Hedgehog, because last week they had a very big moment going on for the 30th anniversary, and that was Sonic's 30th anniversary orchestra that they live streamed on the on YouTube and on Twitch. I'm gonna just say this right now. I know people are sad that we never got to see this orchestra play out live in person, obviously because we're still in the middle of the Backstreet Boys, so that kind of thing could not happen. With that being said, I'm kind of happy too, because like we got some of the cleanest audios imaginable for certain orchestra songs, especially the Live and Learn finale that we had, which I thought was probably the greatest rendition of Live and Learn that we'll ever get to witness in our lives, man. Because how do you do rock and roll like that with orchestra and make it work? And it is phenomenal. Honestly, it's probably one of my favorite Live and Learn renditions, if not the best Live and Learn rendition I've ever seen. And the dudes at Crush 40, they killed it in that one, man. So, it's not really going to be a long discussion regarding the orchestra stuff, because at the end of the day, it is music. It's meant to be as a way of celebrating Sonic's career, and it really was one of those rare instances where the entire Sonic community actually unanimously were in happiness for once, where everybody wasn't kicking each other's ass or something. Everybody was just simply having a good time. Like, that's that one rare instance where everybody was just happy in the Sonic community, man. So, also, yeah, I agree with that, Mornox. They need to release the CD or some Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music shit, because that shit deserves to be on my phone, man, in the highest quality possible. But Tyrone, obviously, I know you being Mr. Sonic fan, the biggest one anyway, out of all of us here. Did you take a chance to listen to all of it? And overall, what did you think of it?
I did, and I like orchestral music. I really do. Like, I appreciate it. It's not my favorite genre, but I do like it. What's weird? Remember the song that plays for Sonic Unleashed? Not the Endless Possibility one, but basically the fanfare, the ba da 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 da.
Yeah.
That one. Okay, so
Amazing.
that's already an orchestral song.
Mm-hmm.
So when they played it, I'm like, this is just the original song.
Same applies to Sonic Colors too.
Yeah. I kind of wanted them to do one where, like, You know when you get an S, when you get a D rank.
Oh,
Like the one where they're fucking up. I
that's the E
wanted
rank
that.
one.
Yeah, I want the fucking up one. That's my favorite one. I just love how defeated the band sounds. Uh,
That should
but
have
yeah,
been during the intermission, man. That shit would have been great.
I think outside of Live and Learn, I think my favorite one was the Crisis City one. Oh my god, that was so good.
I didn't think it would sound good in orchestra, honestly.
Oh, they
Oh.
kind of gave us a little sample of that in Sonic Generations if you play modern Sonic stage, because that version they changed it up by using violins instead of guitars.
Hmm.
So we do get like a sample of that, but they went all out this time and they gave us like a full orchestral Crisis City, and it sounds so good. Oh my god, I love it. The dun 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 dun. Like
Yeah, it sounds like the road to the final.
yeah, it sounds so good. But yeah, I agree. A lot of the songs were really good. It was great hearing a lot of the songs orchestrally. Like I said, it's not my favorite genre. So there was some songs that were orchestral I was just like meh about. But I was surprised what they did at. Like Tails Sky Patrol. Holy shit. People remember that game?
Sonic and Sega remember that game?
It's on the 3DS.
People remember Sonic Jam.
Yeah, they do. Tales of Sky Patrol is on the 3DS eShop, so you can buy it digitally.
Mhm.
But it's such an obscure game because no one talks about it. No one really. It's literally just like it's more of a Metroid game too. That's probably why. It's more of a Metroidvania type of situation where you control Tails and you slowly get all these upgrades and items to make him stronger against this like duck he's fighting. He's fighting like an army of ducks or some shit. It's such an obscure game, but the fact that they played an orchestral remix to that game, legitimately surprised, legitimately shocked. I'm like, huh? They know this game exists.
Well, didn't they also show off the fact that Tails fucking died at the end with the
Yeah,
stars?
I don't. They showed off the Game Gear game. They showed off quite a bit of Game Gear Sonic games. I was legitimately impressed. Nobody
Canonically,
usually.
Tails has died in their universe.
Yeah, Tails dies, I believe, in Sonic. I want to say Sonic 2 for the Game Gear.
Yeah.
But
Now,
yeah, damn it, I own a copy of Sonic Jams.
but yeah, all of the music was phenomenal, man.
It was really good.
I just really loved it. I love my favorite one. If I had to choose, honestly, has to go to the vocals. Like Nathan Sharp, I believe was his name, aka Nate Wants to Battle.
Nate Wants to Battle.
Oh.
Yeah.
He did Endless Possibilities and Escape from the City.
City Escape.
Yes.
City
Yeah,
Escape.
City Escape.
I didn't really. I mean, he's a fine vocalist, but I didn't really care for his rendition of City Escape. Also, it's nice to hear a version of Sonic Heroes where Johnny isn't birding the fuck out of his voice, and that one guy isn't there to say.
Oh, you're talking about that celebration one.
25th anniversary. What's that sound? That's the sound of 25 years of Sonic, which actually is funny because the live stream had that, but the audience recording did not.
Also, let's not forget the bzzz in the
God.
background.
Yeah. But Johnny's vocals were great this time.
I'm really glad to see Nate Wants to Battle is actually getting somewhere like legit with this, because I remember him way back when I listened to a couple of his anime opening renditions. Like I know he does a really good Shield Hero.
Yeah.
He did Shield Hero. He did he also did shit. He also did Sword Art Online, which was really good. Like I'm glad. I think he did a couple of My Hero Academia ones. You might have to
Yes,
fact check
peace
me on that.
sign or
Yes, he did do Peace Sign. You're right,
Yeah.
Polly. Yes, he did. That was a
I think it
beautiful
might have
Peace
been
Sign.
on the day.
Yeah, Nate
Oh.
Wants to Battle's a really good. He's talented, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did the Dragon Ball Super one apparently as well.
He did do Dragon Ball Supers. He did the Limit one.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
the one that the mysteries abound?
No. That's
Oh.
Dragon Ball Z Kai. He did the
Right.
one with Dragon Ball Super during the Tournament of Power.
The second opening.
Yeah, Limit Break, I believe it's called, or Limit
Limit X
Breakers,
Break.
or Limit X Survivors. Yeah.
One of my favorites is called Pokemon University, and it's like him, the J-Wits, and a bunch of other people. Like, you just have to watch it.
Oh, he did another My Hero Academia one along with several different other artists. Like it was a bunch of people that got together. It was like a bunch. I believe Terrell showed us in the chat. I'll have to send it to you, Polly, but it's really beautiful. It's Might plus it's basically Might plus you combined with You Say Running. It's
wow.
It's so good.
Nice.
So much
But
love
yeah,
for my hero tonight.
I mean, like I said, for me, I mean,
Uh-huh.
his voice is good, but it's like his version of City Escape. I don't think anybody can beat Johnny's
Yeah, it wasn't that.
original.
Yeah. It
I mean,
wasn't.
my problem is he did some weird melodic changes that I didn't like.
Yeah, I noticed
Wait.
it specifically in Sonic Unleashed.
Because
Sonic.
well, here's the other thing. Actually, I know exactly what happens in the choruses. Johnny would do the low phrasing first, and then the higher phrasing second. While Nate did it reversed and doesn't sound right.
Emmy, I just want to say I am obsessed with that Professor Sycamore's theme. He actually did a
Yes.
cover. With really, really good.
Also, is this Hayate Leaf?
Hayate Leaf.
Hayate Leaf. Hey, Hayate Leaf. We didn't ignore you. Don't worry.
Yeah. But yeah, like I was mentioning before, and what you stated, TSS, regarding the renditions, I noticed in particular the one that he really did change up a little bit of the lyrics. Well, not the lyrics, but the way the way you say those lyrics.
He changed the melodies around.
Yeah, he did that specifically with Sonic Unleashed main theme song, Endless Possibilities. And it was the segment where it's like from somewhere, but like he instead of saying it like that, he does like this. He does this extra oomph to the S word from somewhere, like something like that. But it's
So he does
opinion,
kind of like a staccato or something.
yeah, but in my opinion, though, I felt like that little extra oomph did so much to that part of the lyric. Like it's its own version. So at the end of the day, if you enjoy it, you'll always have that. But if you didn't, you'll always have the original. But I did like what he provided for his renditions of the songs. As you said before, Ted Poley, he's on a league of its own, man. It's incredible. Like, and Nate, I think he did an incredible job for what he was given tracks for, and especially the orchestra coming in to help out with that song too as well. I thought that was a nice touch there with City Escape's theme song. But overall, Sonic's 30th anniversary presentation with the orchestra, though, phenomenal time. That was really the day Sonic fans came out winning. If there's anything everybody can agree with, Sonic music in general will always be king. I feel like whenever video game music is ever gonna be in discussion, 100% of the time Sonic music is always gonna be in that discussion, man. That's how iconic Sonic songs are.
Go
ahead. No, I just want to steer for just 30 seconds here. Anybody remember? Now last week I talked about that wonderful Rika song from Matchless Raijino, and I said it came out in 1992. I was wrong. It actually came out in 1991 because
1 year before I was born.
Yes, because what ends up happening is a lot of the anime in the 80s and 90s, they would usually release compilation albums years after the original songs were recorded, because technically this is like an image song, right? A good example being Touch, the anime Touch, that went from like 1984 to 1987, but all three compilation albums came out in 1990. So the compilation albums here came out in 92 and 93, while Rika did the vocals in like 91, 92. But this particular song is from like 91 because the original series went from 91 to 92. So Rika was 22, 23. That's why it sounds so much different. Anyway, back to our regularly scheduled program.
Yep.
All right. So I think we only got. Well, actually, Polly, what was it that you were gonna bring up now before I get to the next topic?
I was gonna ask something I could probably look up. I was gonna ask, did they play It Doesn't Matter about what happened?
They kind of did. It's not with the
Oh,
vocals,
yeah,
though.
it doesn't matter. That's a good song.
Yeah, they played the instrumental version of it.
It's the medley.
One of the two Sonic games I've played.
Wait, which it doesn't matter though. Which version are we talking about? Sonic Adventure
Adventure
2?
two.
Sonic 06 music.
Adventure 2 Battle.
Okay. Because
Yeah, yeah,
personally, I'm a bigger fan of the first version from
yeah,
Adventure.
that one's more of a
Okay.
like a slower chord rock. It's like it doesn't matter now what, but the other one's like a faster pace.
Yeah, it sounds like
Yeah, I like the
it sounds like a
faster
main insert song that you would use for Sonic,
Hmm.
whereas the first one sounds like an ending song that you
I
would play.
believe they liked the first one so much they even played a violin remixed version of it in the Sonic the Black Knight.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But you know what we
Yeah,
should give an F in the chat to for Sonic music? The
right.
the handheld games, because none of them got love, man.
Oh, some of the Game Gears.
Wait, Mornox?
You're
KG,
probably
Did you
talking
didn't you
about
do a
Sonic
rap
Advance.
cover years ago? You ought to do covers again, man. Your vocals could use some exercise.
Damn.
Well, when are we gonna do our group
We did
song?
those already. Well, we did solo versions anyway. The channel's gone now, so nobody can ever
Oh,
see that shit
God.
again. But
Hey,
let it
we
be
need to
known
redo
we
that
did that
Pumpkin
too.
Hill, Polly.
Yeah.
We need to redo
Oh,
that.
yeah, that's true.
Tyrone, we gotta wait for your mixtape first before we decide to go anywhere further. Otherwise, if we release that first, everyone's gonna keep asking where the
Well-
hell your mixtape's at.
Right.
That joke
Bohemian
will never
Rhapsody.
die.
Bohemian Rhapsody came on at the bitter end, and we were thinking maybe that could be. We'll just write a cover with PokePod centric lyrics.
That'd be funny.
Miyazaki.
Wasn't there a
Yeah.
Pokemon tag song thing? Yeah, that's the one we were talking about before. That's what we kind
Yeah,
of did, the
yeah,
Pokemon
well-
rap one. Even
Yeah,
Tyrone,
yeah,
TSS, Terrell,
Yeah,
John.
mine is still up.
Yeah, your channel is still up, which is why you still have that one there. The unfortunate one
that.
is the one I actually did two versions or two raps, I think, back in the day. I did that one, and then I did the quote unquote X, Y, and Z one.
Oh my God. We don't
Wait,
talk
wait,
about
I never heard that.
And
No.
let's take 2 seconds to appreciate that KG made one of the best and worst mashups ever.
Yeah, it matches and at the same time doesn't match, and it's weird. I hate it.
Yeah.
It drives me insane.
No,
so
no.
Polly,
The
so
best
Polly,
part
for
about it- go ahead.
context, you
Okay, yeah.
didn't miss the XY one. He sang it. Your brain probably decided to cure itself by throwing it out. He fucking sang the damn Smash Mouth song that they play in Shrek. That one.
Oh,
Somebody.
But he
Is-
played it.
Somebody wants.
And
Yeah,
he played
yeah.
it in matching with the beat of XY, and it sounds horrible.
Yeah,
I was-
but then he did another one last week where he took a Lola and fucking put that on there.
I loved
Yeah.
it too because the first 20 seconds were kept straight from the actual song itself, which is where Satoshi's talking. So everybody already in their heads were thinking it was the original. And then you see a lot of tweets where they're like, oh my god, I love this song so much. And then they get to the 20-second mark and it's like, wait, no, take that back.
Because the now if I were doing that now in terms of like melodic wise, in terms of voice, you could probably get some Melodyne or some shit on it. My only thing is I could have you probably could have like matched the tempo better, but that other than that, it was pretty pretty cursed and pretty good at the same time. It was like one of those things where have you ever seen like those visual representations where you have the dead body's soul, it cannot go to hell and it can't go to heaven.
Yeah.
It's like fighting between the two. It's the same thing with this song, with this rendition.
Now, here's a little fun trivia fact, guys. The reason why it's so bad is because I made that shit 4 years ago when the opening came out and we got the instrumentals for it. That shit was made back in 2015. No,
2017.
2017, around that time when the Lola first dropped.
Early,
And
yeah,
that
early.
was when I decided to play around with it. At that time, it didn't really blow up as compared to now. So I was just shocked. I was like, you know what? Let me just, for old time's sake, just re-upload that shit again and see what people have to say about it. That shit.
Yeah,
blew
I need
up.
to hear the 1, 2, 3 thing from the Anti-Poke Bros. I gotta
Yeah, they
freaking
did one,
see
and
it.
they also got help from another person as well. Silverstorm, I believe, was the one that
Yeah,
helped out.
Silverstorm,
yeah.
Yeah, who helped out with the musical beat. So
It was
a lot
bizarre.
of love with that song.
Yeah.
It's just happy. I like it. It's very happy to see.
I mean,
that the
I would
Anime
like, I mean, I
poking
would like,
fun.
I would like to do the full cover of the freaking second version. But the problem is, Sony has been stingy with the karaoke versions of songs.
We never
for the
got
la-
any of the instrumentals for 1, 2, 3.
Nope.
Not a
Nope.
single
Oh.
one, man.
Not a damn
And it's the
one.
same and it's the same shit with the Doll Pump shit for Inuma-kun. It's like Magical Bobby Dance does only exists digitally, and there's no karaoke version.
Yeah, we never got a
That's
physical
how-
release of that song or CD release.
And-
I mean.
Yeah, no satisfaction either when it comes out either.
When
So-
are we making ours?
Of what? Of our 1, 2, 3?
What would he even do?
No, we're doing the Shiritori because clearly everybody loves the
Oh,
Shiritori one.
God.
Everybody has to try to say the Japanese names of the mon in quick succession in one take.
Mew.
No, we're gonna do the flute when the new flute ending.
No. I'll make my best. I'll make my best Marina Icolt's freaking impression.
Fucking fire types can beat water types. Hey.
I mean the edit I did. Oh my god! So here's the thing: I never uploaded it yet.
Kachi is like
I-
kachi kori type.
Yeah, I was gonna say that song. I took the flute beat and I realized because every note was being hit in a different position, I could actually play around with it. So I decided to do the with the flute beat in there, and it works beautifully, man. So like you can like mess around with the flute beats right there and just see what you could come up with. But the fact that I was able to do Sans Theme with like the first few beats of the Undertale song was actually just hilarious in my mind. I need to put that somewhere, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, but overall good time though. Before we get into our since we're talking about anime stuff, before we get into the actual anime discussion / review for the week, let's take a second to talk about two last things, why don't we? The first thing, just to quickly go through it, Steam Summer Sale is happening, and it's been going on for a while.
Gaben has got my money already.
Oh yeah, I gotta buy stuff. Fuck.
By the way, folks, I have given Gaben my money, and I bought the Conception Plus and the Conception 2 bundle, and I also bought Spyro. So the freaking Gaben got fucking $44 of my money. For this shit.
For now, because you never know when Gaben's gonna strike next.
Golden.
Yeah, same here. I spent money on that VTuber thingy, so it was on sale for like $10, so I decided to go for it. I think it's not even that badly priced compared to the other one, which is like $15. I think it is the original price. So there's that.
And I know we're gonna talk about Smash Brothers soon, but I realized after watching, because I finally got to join KG in one of his Persona 3 streams. And then I realized, I got to join. Yeah, sorry, KG, you were the last one talking. I got to join TSS in the Persona stream, and I realized that one of the songs is in Smash Brothers. Baby, 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 baby. And I'm like, yes.
It's good stuff. And speaking about music, let's take a second to talk about the Smash Brothers presentation for a bit. Then, so Kazuya, it's Kazuya, right?
Yeah,
Kazuya. I apologize. So, they went really insane with that presentation, man. Going full in depth over the moveset of this character, and holy shit, man, he seems like either one of the most complex characters of all times, or probably one of the easiest characters of all time, depending on what you decide to do.
Welcome to Tekken, y'all. Welcome to Tekken.
Man, though, it looks incredible, though. I love his moveset. I love what they did with his character design. I love what they did with Kirby. I love that they massacred the many fans' dreams and expectations with the Mii costumes. But most importantly, though, I enjoyed the music selection, man.
Yes.
There is one song.
songs.
39 songs. We were joking about that shit with like the fighting games getting all the tracks and everything, and I guess freaking Namco Bandai and freaking Harada decided to be like, yo, what if we decide to go a little further? Why don't we? 39 songs. I'm like, holy shit.
Go.
With a free character included.
And my favorite song is in the motherfucking game.
Which one? Oh, wait, the one you showed.
Moonlight. It's called Moonlit Wilderness, and it's from Tekken 5, and it's my favorite Tekken song ever. And it's so good. When I heard it while Sakurai was showing off some of the combos, and I'm like, wait a minute, why does it sound so familiar? Oh shit! They put Moonlit Wilderness in this bitch.
Ah, but man, the one that I'm talking about though, my personal favorite track, the fucking yodeling in Meadow Hill.
Oh god.
They got the song from Tekken 6, the yodeling song. I just want you to think about this. We're gonna be playing that song in that stage with the yodeling in the background music. All right, just think about the insanity that's gonna come from that, and the hilarity that's gonna come from it.
Also, don't we get Shantae music?
Yes, we do, because the Shantae Me costume will be including a track if you purchase it. So similar to like
Now,
if you purchase
I know
Sans.
people are upset with the Me Fighters. I do like that they at least acknowledge that these characters.
Yeah, like
we get,
Lloyd. I mean, at least we have Lloyd. You know.
Yeah, from Tales of Symphonia, and we get fucking Skyrim guy. We get Skyrim guy.
Oh, Dovahkiin, or otherwise known as Dragonborn.
Yes, the Dragonborn. I'm so happy he's in there.
Todd Howard once again trying to remind you to buy Skyrim yet again.
They're saying that Smash Brothers pays more attention to the Elder Scrolls series than fucking Bethesda does.
People don't understand how big this is. I can finally put Stan's head on Shantae's body. Just think about
Shut
the
up.
possibilities of that.
Shut up,
All right. So,
fucking demon.
listen, man. If Cuphead and Creeper were able to do a baby together, then I could do that shit with Shantae. Okay, man.
Okay, so before we get into, because I know we've reached time, I guess I'll
No,
have
don't
to be
worry.
the
We
one
can
to-
go a little extra if you like.
Okay,
To.
I guess I'll have to be the one to break down the Tekken shit, huh?
Well, you are out of all of us. I'd like to believe probably Mr. Tekken guy the most.
Okay,
because I don't
so
know
first
much
of all-
of it.
So first of all, I'm glad Sakurai. I'm glad he explained it perfectly. Kazuya's whole backstory. He explained it perfectly. Basically, yes, Hiachi, his father, and his mother, Kazuya's mother. His mother contains the devil gene, which I stated before, and she passed that gene down to Kazuya. Hayachi does not have the devil gene, obviously, because he's not, he married into the family. Like, they got together and he married in. But he thought his son was a demon, so he tried to take his ass out. But Kazuya wound up overpowering him and threw his ass off a cliff, hence the throwing off the cliff shit. Obviously, Kazuya wound up with one girl, Jun Mishima, and she ended up making Jin. They ended up making Jin Kazuma. So Jin Kazuma, which is the one you guys saw as the spirit, once he reaches level 100, he can reach Devil Jin because he's part human, part Devil Gene. But he put his Devil Gene under control, so he can kind of balance his out. But Kazuya, once he uses his Devil Gene, he's just straight up evil. He's a fucking demon. That's why his whole body changes when he goes Devil mode. Whereas Jin, he gets wings and horns, but he doesn't turn color. So they got that right. They broke that family tree down pretty nicely. I mean, it's not hugely complex because it's a fighting game, but they got it right. So that's good. His gameplay style, literally pretty much every combo he uses in that game, in the Tekken games, is in Smash Brothers. They got that almost 100% accurate. I think they left out some moves, but they did that because Smash doesn't have as many buttons as Tekken does. So there's only so much they can do with it. And I'm sure a lot of those combos require you to just tilt a certain way. It feels like Kazuya is a more complete version of Ryu and Ken. And I say that because Ryu and Ken, they can do their Street Fighter Shoryuken / Hadouken / Tatsumaki Senpu Kek combos. But they obviously can do them when you do the button impresses, whereas Kazuya, you can do them with the button impresses, but they encourage you to not do all of them with the button inputs, because I'm guessing Sakurai wants you to combine those moves with his other lighter moves, so you can juggle your opponent in the air via combo, because Tekken's all about juggling your opponent. It's not about, it's about spacing and juggling. Those are your two main Tekken tools. Are you in the right space to get your attacks in? And can you juggle your opponent long enough to rack up damage to make sure that by the time they get back up, you've already got the upper hand? They did that pretty well. They kept in the 10-hit combo that Kazuya or any character can use. Because at a certain point, they start naming some of the moves where it's like, oh, Rising Toe Kick or Dragon's Crouch or some shit like that. But then at some point, they go, 10-hit combo. They stop calling it moves. They just call it...
Ken, thank you for the follow.
Thank you for the follow, Tarukin. Tarukin. And yeah, they stopped calling them. They stopped naming them moves, and they literally just straight up call them 10 hit combo, 13 hit combo, 14 hit combo, etc. etc. Kazuya obviously knows more hit combos than just 10. But obviously, if he were to use like a 14 hit combo or 15 or even heaven forbid a 20 hit combo, he'd be broken. He'd be fucking broken. So there's no way in hell they were gonna do that. I like the fact that they translated it correctly where one of his moves, he goes, this should be your burial ground, and then made the joke about Pikachu afterwards.
Yeah, like how he's saying that and is like, it's supposed to be serious and all, and then you're saying it to a yellow rodent of all things.
Chill out, Tekken guy. This is a game for kids. Fuck them kids. And I remember somebody made an art before the presentation. Obviously, this was weeks, but I want to say a week before the presentation. Where Kazuya was like, I shall kill all of you. And then he looks at Pikachu and he goes, especially you. I love the fact that matches now. I love the fact that we have context. But other than that, yeah, they did Kazuya really well. I love his stage. His stage is beautiful. I love the fact that the gimmick is that you can knock them through the wall. That's fucking hilarious to me. Because that's exactly how it would be in the games, is that you can literally do damage to the background and then it'll break in and it'll show like the moonlit background. So that's pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
The Omega and the Battlefield stages look really cool because they're taking place at nighttime. I believe that was pretty much it. His final smash looks cool. I like the way Kirby looks when he actually absorbs him. I like that Kirby's eye is red too. They did not have to do that.
It's actually different colored.
It's like a pinkish red.
Yeah, it's like one is red and the other one's blue.
Yeah, just like Kazuya's.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am legitimately impressed by that and the Mii fighters. I thought it was all cool. I really thought they nailed it. Like he did a good job. And we still got one more fighter left, so that gives y'all one more chance to speculate all these ridiculous, dumbass fighters y'all thinking of.
One thing to note, though, he said it's going to be a while before we see that last fighter. So
Yeah,
I'm going to not
he
be
did.
surprised if we don't see that fighter until the Game Awards this year.
Yeah, probably.
And then they're going to
sounded
probably do a
alright.
simultaneous release. Because he did say it's still coming out this year. He just never said when it's going to end this year. So there's
And
still
they have
quite
to
a
work
while.
from home, so
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just Joker again.
You
They made a sequel to Joker.
No.
Yeah.
I know. Once again, I'm gonna do one of my 0.7% predictions. Yuri Lowell. Watch it be fucking Yuri.
Hold up, Yuri Lowell?
Yeah, from Tales of Vesperia.
Yeah, the main protagonist from there with the dog with the cigarette and all that, even though it's
Yeah,
not a
I know
cigarette.
who it is. I was just really surprised TSS was gonna make that suggestion. I'm glad that you made that suggestion, honestly, because it feels reasonable because they already introduced a Tails character, so it makes sense.
Yeah, because a lot of people are thinking that the final fighter is supposed to be like the big one. It's supposed to be, groundbreaking kind of revelation for the
Yeah,
game.
the problem is that now you put all this like hype under it.
But it's not even Nintendo's fault. It's just sort of how it's being structured,
Yeah,
Because
a lot of the
look
fans
at
are
the
upset.
original Smash Fighter Pass, and also think about it.
Yeah.
If this final sixth character never existed, Kazuya would have been the last character from this pack.
Correct.
So I mean, yeah, it just goes to show that things are a little different. In my opinion, though, the one I expect to see is going to be a character that nobody's going to see come, and I think it's going to be Soul from Guilty.
Soul Bad Guy?
Yeah, Soul Bad Guy.
From Guilty Gear.
Yeah,
Neat.
I say that because one, he's an anime character that everyone hates. Two,
Okay.
he's a sword fighter that everyone
Okay.
seems to hate. And nobody knows about the franchise at all.
And everyone
Well,
thinks hey.
according to the Smash community, nobody knows what the hell Guilty Gear is. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be Byleth 2.0. There you go.
I wouldn't mind Klonoa.
All right, listen, man. I want his Wahoos so much in there,
Yeah.
but I think already the issue is that we got another Bandai rep with Tekken. So
Yeah.
are we gonna get
yeah.
another Bandai rep? Nah, I
Yeah,
don't think so.
you're right.
Nah, but in all honesty, the one I think fans are expecting to see, or wanting to see, I should say, is Sora. I'm not sure how that's going to play out. If it does, maybe we'll see it as a Mii costume. Maybe, no idea, but we'll have to wait and see for that moment. But as of
Dante.
now, though, excited to
Dante is
see.
not coming.
Yeah,
Dante is not coming. Sorry.
Dante's not coming. I love how it's called Dante in the English presentation. So it's Dante from the Dante series, not from the Devil
Okay,
May Cry.
so I want to throw in some more Tekken news, I guess, that relates to Pokemon too. It involves Pokken Tournament, obviously, hence the Pokken slash Tekken thing. It says in this note on Twitter, some players may find it harder to master Pikachu compared to Lucario due to the slightly more complex style of his attacks. Pikachu seems to use signature special moves from Heihachi Mishima from the Tekken main series. So Pikachu's upper move, the uppercuts move, is the same as Hayachi's, which is the one he uses on Kazuya. So it all comes back. And it's also accompanied by this picture, which I'll give KG.
Oh,
But I love that. I love the call out.
yeah, it's a great. I think this presentation was fun, man, and I loved everything what I got.
liked
From
it. Yeah, I liked it. And we got a funky ass Min Min amiibo.
Also, Min Min fucking beat the shit out of Sakurai. That was funny.
Yeah.
Man, no, I'm glad that happened. That means Sakurai himself can go ahead and nerf her ass.
I thought there was a joke that was going on with that. I thought he intentionally lost so that way Haruda can come in and be like, "Let me show you how a real Tekken professional plays," and then Haruda would show how he plays this character in Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
I thought that was the joke they were going for, and I was like, "Holy shit, he's gonna show up, isn't he?" And it's just that he just got his ass whooped.
I'm glad that now Sakurai himself has seen Min Min. Now he can go ahead and nerf her dumb ass.
Nah, just spam beam like what he did. Just shows you how powerful Beam really is.
Watch when that update happens. People gonna be like, "What the fuck happened to Min Min?" I'm gonna be like,
"Why is it only 1%?"
Right? Why that presentation happened to Min Min? That's what happened.
Oh, good God! All right then. Well, I guess with all that dilly-dally and discussion from everything that we got so far, what do you guys say we get ourselves ready to get into the review for tonight then? For the latest episode of PM 2019. So, without further ado, let's get right into it, everybody, with the Pokeball. Woo! All right, so this week's episode of PM 2019 focuses on actually a trope we've seen a couple of times already within the series as a whole, which is when Ash and the gang and the Team Rocket cast all somehow split into different directions and all get themselves in unique mix-ups that lead to hilarious, comedy moments. And this is another one of those said episodes. So let's get right into it. How did this episode play out? Well, it actually began with the whole fact that Ash and Go were assuming that there was a brand new Pokemon that exists in the universe region. Yeah, like how many Geese was it? It's supposedly 10 Geese, so it's or something like that, which I thought was hilarious. And then you find out that the whole joke behind it was that it was a promotion for a snack that they sold in the area. The cookies. And also I just love how those cookies actually played out in the story element later. So yeah, we'll talk more about that soon as well.
9 ads, people are saying.
I guess they got hit by the advertisements. But anyway, continuing on though. So yeah, Ash, specifically Go, he was hurt so much by that. He had to try to convince himself that he came all the way to Unova just for the cookies and nothing else. Which I thought was hilarious. Yeah, so Ash, Go, and Koharu, who also happened to tag along as well, they never explained that, but hey, sometimes we don't need explanations. Just have the characters be there and just have a good time,
This is just another example of why the fuck didn't Ash, Go, and Koharu just travel together? Fuck it.
Well, we'll talk more
I feel
about
like the
that
whole
soon.
show should have just been this. Well, not this episode. I mean, like, their dynamic.
Yes, I think the dynamic in this episode was honestly some of the best, even though they were separated like most of the time. But it's the mix-ups that I found were the absolute best. And like in my opinion,
I'm just annoyed by the whole. We couldn't put Koharu in the show because of reasons, and then the minute they put her in, it's perfectly normal.
yeah. So yeah, let's get to the mix-ups, why don't we? So we got a unique mix-up. It's Ash with Morpeko, Go with Pikachu, Team Rocket with Koharu's Eevee, Grookey by himself, and then eventually finding Wobbuffet, and then Koharu and Meowth, I believe, was the last one.
Yeah, that was right.
I will say right now, this is one of my favorite mix-ups that we've had. I laughed
agree.
my ass off with a lot of the shit that happened in this episode. The fact that Ash and we had like a Lady in the Tramp moment with Ash and Morpeko eating the same cookie together and just eventually getting closer to each other's lips before it just cuts off the camera and goes into another scene all on its own. Team Rocket actually breaking the fourth wall with filming their motto and even having the galaxy background as well, and they paused it, and I was so confused. I was like, holy shit, did I accidentally pause the video itself, when we were watching it live on Twitch? And no, it's that Team Rocket had that shit filmed in their Pokedex and we're using it to teach the Eevee how to do it, which led to Eevee also performing that same dance as well with the Team Rocket cast, and then later again with Go when he caught a Pokemon.
Yeah, they wanted the Eevee to become a spy.
Yeah, pretty much.
I like when the Molga did it.
Yeah, that's also another good one too. But I think it was because was Amolka hypnotized or something, or was it just because?
No, she just was being a bitch.
Yeah, that was it. Like there was no mix up. But I love the Eevee one because it's so wholesome. Eevee doesn't understand what's going on. Eevee just wanted to do it just because it looks cool, and and she did it twice, which I thought was great. And then of course Go and Pikachu. I loved how Go was seeing a little bit of Ash in Pikachu there. Like, it's kind of funny if you think about it when you look at the original series and remember how smart Pikachu was back then. And then you see his ass right now and he's just a complete goofball.
Fucking idiot, yeah.
He's walking all on his own. He's doing whatever the hell he wants to do.
That's what happens when he didn't get his fucking Burger King fries in fucking episode 30.
Pikachu's been under the ownership of other trainers before and has done way better. I don't know what the fuck this shit was.
He's in the Journeys
Pikachu
era
was under
right
the
now.
Pikachu was under the ownership of Serena and did better. I don't know what the fuck this shit is.
Remember, more years have passed by. Well, it technically not for them, but for us, yeah.
This was my least favorite, Pikachu teamed up with somebody else dynamic I've ever seen.
Yeah, out of everything, it's the weakest in this entire episode. I'll say because nothing paid off in the end. It's only that they got out, went back in, I think, and then they're just we're in the sewers
thing.
Yeah, there was no payoff at all with that whole thing. They saw a Seismitoad and then they whooped its ass, but or I don't think it really did. But the whole point was that it was just sort of there. Compared to all the other ones that had comedy moments and just hilarious scenes happen and play out by itself, Go and Pikachu's was, I think, probably the weakest out of the four mix-ups, in my opinion.
Pikachu's a fucking idiot in this episode for some reason.
Pikachu knows the Go hate, apparently. Or Pikachu might have just been trolling Go. If that's the case, though, that's a good shit on Pikachu.
I hate the fact that Go knows how types work now in this episode, but in the episode before he was a fucking idiot. God damn, this show does not know.
No. He scanned the Pokemon first, which I assume is what showed the...
He did a dex.
He scanned Ninetales, and he knew that Ninetales was an Ice and Fairy type. He even asked, what's good against Ice and Fairy?
Yeah, but as we stated before, we assume that's probably just a mix-up out there, and I'm not really sure. But that was just something everybody was saying at the time. But here, it's it kind of makes sense. But here's my complaint, though. This is what really threw me off, because nobody seems to be talking about this. Okay, so Go, who has dozens of Pokemon at this point, why was he only with Grookey in this episode?
Because the episode needed to happen.
No, but couldn't we see Pikachu and maybe another Mon that Go has in his team, which he doesn't seem to have at all whatsoever?
No, that would ruin this
he needed
episode.
that chaotic duo of Wobbuffet.
No. I'm saying Go's Pokemon, like say when they're fighting against Seismitoad, right? Couldn't Go just take out another Pokemon and play fight against with Pikachu together and do it a double on one fight? But
absolutely not, because then the plot wouldn't happen.
But there wasn't even any purpose to that scene right there. It was Go's and Pikachu's were the most pointless out of everybody else's in this entire the Koharu Meowth one honestly is one of the best one. Because of
I didn't like that duo either. In fact, well, I'll get into my favorite duo later. But
okay. That's the same logic why Emperor can't tag along mixed up episodes. He was sniffed to send
yeah,
back to
yeah, yeah.
everyone.
It's journeys. Unfortunately, it's journeys is the answer for when we don't have actual answers.
I just hate it because it's like Go always seems to carry something or someone with him, and the only time that
Nope.
he decides to carry just Grookey
Incompetence for the
in
sake of the
another
episode.
region, I would understand if we're still in Kanto, maybe that makes sense. But like we're in Unova, you would think if he's gonna capture Mons, especially because the whole gimmick of this episode was that they're discovering a brand new Mon, you would think Go would have more Pokemon under his belt to be prepared for whenever they encounter that said Yaru thing. But like he didn't. He just only brought Grookey. What the hell is he gonna do with Grookey, bitch ass? Like for real.
In English, when this gets translated, will it be called clink 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 clink?
Yeah, it's probably something like that. I don't know, but as of
Okay.
right now, as it stands, it's Yaru right now. So we got to stick with that one until this episode comes out dubbed.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like I just felt like there was some form of the inconsistency on Go's end, in my opinion. I think it could have been handled a little bit better, especially when you realize how irrelevant the Go segment was, because like nothing came out of it aside from after we got out of the cave.
I'm bitter. Well, first of all, I have a note that says Seismitoad in all capital letters, and then I just have bitter about Go not catching Seismitoad.
Yeah, that was stupid too.
Yeah, so but let's see. Moving forward, yeah, let's talk
agree.
about Koharu and Meowth. Okay, I
I
just
liked
really
it.
want to ask those in the chat, and maybe you guys here in the call might get an answer to this as well.
Yay.
Was this one of those rare instances where Meowth actually felt genuine with getting caught by a
Yes.
main protagonist?
Okay, I'm gonna bullshit this one because the show doesn't know whether it wants to use this or not. Koharu apparently has this weird, like, out of place power where Pokemon are attracted to her, and I want to say that falls into line with this situation.
Right.
But the show doesn't know when it wants to fucking use it. So we have these episodes where Pokemon are in love with her, and then they're just like in her area. I don't know. So I'm gonna bullshit it and say that her power, in air quotes, was used in this episode in some way, shape, or form.
I think it might just be because like for once we actually got to see a character not be an a-hole to Meowth at the very beginning. Like when Meowth got dirt, like Koharu cleaned him up, or even actually responded to whatever the hell he was saying. Most of the time,
Yeah.
like, even the Bonnie episode, if you remember that, whenever Meowth was going to talk about the whole scene about how he got his voice, what did Bonnie do? Bonnie scuffed it and just walked off and left his ass, hanging. Here, Koharu actually paid attention to what Meowth was saying, and that's, I
Yes.
think, one of the reasons why Meowth was actually, and the S word everybody keeps saying in the chat for Koharu, because it's like there's somebody who's actually listening to him for once from the main character side of things,
He was shrimping.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Shrimping, yeah.
But I really liked it. I also liked that they had the little nod back with the whole history behind how he got his voice and what led him to be what it is. And then I like that we didn't straight up reject or continue on that statement, but rather kind of took that statement and gave a different question to add to it. Like how Koharu was like, okay, how did you learn? And he's like, oh, it's because, there was a girl I liked. And then Koharu was like, hey, I see that you like, girls and whatnot, and if you happen to be nicer, then maybe you can get that chance. Like, I like that she still kind of like talked with me off, like she didn't decide to just scuff it off to the side and ignore it. Now she just continued on the conversation in a nice, casual way, and that's what led me out to kind of feel, some kind of emotion for her.
Yes, that reference to the Kanto episode is true, because you have to remember that a girl that I liked, that was the whole female Nyath from episode 70. So it was in fact a callback.
Mm-hmm.
And I did really appreciate that. I also appreciated the fact that Nyath was finally getting somewhere in terms of like getting his point across, because usually Musashi's like, putting him down, just all they're using it for is to scratch shit and fucking translate shit.
Yeah.
Like an interpreter. Like you treat somebody like shit like that for 20 something years, and you finally find a woman or girl that actually freaking listens to whatever the fuck you have to say, and you really appreciate their company.
It's just like, what about the times Jesse actually was nice to me out though? There's like a bunch of them.
Oh, you want to talk about that controversy that went on in Twitter this week?
I think it's just like sometimes
He beat up
my
a Persian to save his life.
my take on it is sometimes is the same thing as JN30. Everybody, sometimes friends fight, and it's just what makes your relationship grow stronger. I mean, Jesse and Meowth are kind of an odd case because they're villains, and they don't have the same morals and values that most people / fictional protagonists have. But I don't know.
Oh god, that screenshot.
What?
Oh god,
Yeah.
the screenshot.
The eyes. No, that's just how I see it. Like sometimes you say things that you kind of mean, but you don't really mean in the moment because you're angry. It kind of all builds up to a point, but I think deep down they do care about each other.
Mm-hmm.
We needed them to fight for this episode so the episode could happen.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the whole point of Team Rocket / protagonist. They always have to duke it out with each other.
Yeah.
That's always been that way, man. But it's how you approach it though is what really makes a difference. You know, you can still use the same trope, but it's if you can mix it well enough to where you can bring something new to the table while still having familiar pieces in it. I think it could be paid off wonderfully. Like, to me, Ash and Morpeko's scenes is a perfect example of that because I loved how Ash was kind of clever in a way. He's like, shit, I can't just give this Morpeko too many cookies because if he eats all of these snacks, then what the hell am I supposed to do with him later? And there came a point where he purposefully made that Morpeko mad just to prevent those Durants from actually approaching them and getting closer. But I think my favorite bit of that was like, I think that's the first time I've ever seen anybody casually grab Morpeko in his hangry mode and dash away with it. Like, I loved all of that. Like, there are some beats with this episode that I think paid off really well. To me personally, honestly, Go's the weakest, but like everybody else was, in my opinion, great. And then, of course, we're ignoring one other one as well. Grookey bitch ass and Wobbuffet. I loved how that scene was handled because Wobbuffet actually caught the Pokemon, but it's not the one that he's supposed to catch. So what did he do? He shake that net and made sure that monkey gets out of said net. And then the monkey looks at the net and he's like, let me just snatch that shit in a frame and just take that shit out of your hands and just start whacking that shit left and right and running around the area, giving no shits whatsoever. And it's hilarious. It's because of Grookey's attitude that lured those Heatmores into coming inside the cave and then causing the clash between the Durants and the Heatmores that you saw at the end, man.
Because they're natural enemies.
Yeah, so it's just stuff like that. I loved the comedy in this episode, in my opinion. I really thought it was fantastic for a majority of it, you know. But that's just my take of it, of course.
Also, we're back to the da things because apparently I guess maybe what happened was maybe they didn't have a da set up for the last episode, and that's why we got the eye catch. So we're done. So we're back to the regular schedule.
I always thought that when they were doing Project Mew related shit, they were using the eye catch, and for regular ass episodes like this one, they're just gonna use the.
Well, we don't know that yet. We don't know yet.
I don't know. Like for me, narratively, that just makes more sense. That's why I thought they did that.
Right, but we won't know until the next time that we have plot related as in that.
So. Yeah. Also, another thing, though, it's just that I thought it was because Koharu was here, and since the eye catches don't have Koharu...
that makes sense, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that, too.
That could be, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was just because Koharu was here. I'm like, well, shit, yeah, maybe we should have actually made an eye catch with Koharu, right? No? Okay, well, we're going to just do it.
At least we got Seismitoad. I'll take anything for Blue Frog.
Don't worry, you got a lot of blue frogs in Journeys, and maybe you'll get more.
And in Alola. The
Yeah.
most was in Alola still.
Yeah, and we
But-
only got into that area once with a reference to it beforehand. But
Yes.
let me see what else was there in this episode that I thought is fun to point out. The blasting off thing at the end also I found hilarious too. I think
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the one rare instance where we even got to see some of the characters branch out for once at the ending, and
Yeah.
I loved how Ash, Koharu, and Go were just casually walking away, heading on home as they're just after they just got their asses blasted. And I also love that Koharu was also a part of that too for some reason, because she's never really part of with the main cast, but it's just funny to see her get her, because she's innocent in this entire situation. And she just gets her ass blasted to the other side of
Yeah.
the city. So shit like that I enjoyed so much from this episode.
She was so good in this episode.
Yeah. Also, another thing too, the music. There was a lot of musical pieces.
Two new tracks in this one.
Mhm.
Yes. So we're starting to get a lot
Because
of new
it's new,
tunes.
and there's a new vocal track that played during the underground segment that was really fucking nice.
I'm really happy with this. They're
Yes,
starting
I
to
think I know.
incorporate a lot of the new music into the series now. Kind of funny that it's in this episode of all places, but hey, I'll take what I can get. Overall, one of my favorite filler episodes. It did have a weak moment, I said beforehand, but I really had a fun time at the end of it all, because I feel like from the fourth wall breaking to the unique matchups that we got to even references to the past, as little as it may be, I feel like they did a great job with a majority of this episode. And anything that gets me a good laugh, it will always get a plus in my book. And it got me a lot of laughs, especially with the Eevee bit. I just love the whole galaxy background shit that happened where Team Rocket were doing their motto. And I love that during the middle of that, they were talking and you still see the galaxy background. And it's just casually there, even though it's not supposed to make any sense whatsoever. At all in that scene, but it is there.
Yeah, it looks like they borrowed they borrowed the stuff from Iwane and then just decided to just redraw it.
And
Like I was gonna say like Duck Amuck, where the artist is drawing
yes,
the backgrounds.
Oh man, but I love this episode. I do have some small criticism. Like I said, the Go and Pikachu I think was probably the weakest one in my book. Like it didn't, like, out of all of the other ones who were all comedy based, like I can understand that they're supposed to be a straight guy of the group and try to keep things at normalcy and whatnot, but like none of that meant anything in the end. It wasn't until at the very once we got out of the hole where we saw the Durant and then Go caught it, that was the only purpose Go had at this entire episode when they were in the cave, But that's just my take of it, of course. So overall, if I had to give it a score, I'd give it like maybe a 7.5 or an 8 right there. Very favorable in my book. So yeah, that's my take on it. But anybody else here wants to go and pass it along? Actually, let me pass this on to you, Polly, then. Just so you can go. Yeah.
That's good actually, because I'm sleepy time.
Oh no!
But-
So yeah, let's make
No,
sure we
I'm
get your
not going
statements
to. I'm
then.
not going to. No. Okay. The first comment on my notes was like, I said, if Forrest Grumps and a whole lot of trouble had a baby, this episode would be it.
What?
If Forrest Grumps from Johto and a whole lot of trouble from AG, those two episodes had a baby. This would be. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna just go look at these episodes real quick while you're.
Yeah,
continuing.
Forrest Grumps is the first one where Brock and Ash wind up with Jesse, and James is with Misty, and they get lost in the forest.
It says, I love how it says, Ash and friends
Yeah,
must
who's
bury the
Meowth?
hatchet with Team Rocket after they are running from a group of attacking Ursaring.
Was it Meowth with Pikachu? I don't remember. And then a whole lot of trouble was AG, and I think it was like May and Jesse, Max and James, Max and Pikachu? I don't remember. But they were all mixed up too. So it was pretty much combined those two episodes together because you got the different interactions with
Here we go.
the
It's
whole
Max, Pikachu, and Meowth. It was
Yes.
May and Jesse. And then it was James, Ash, and Brock together.
Yeah. But I'm just silly like that. I will raise you a 180 on the Go stuff. I liked Go and Pikachu, their dynamic, a little bit better than Ash and Morpeko, and I'll tell you why. Because Ash and Morpeko, even though it was supposed to be funny, a funny gag for the episode, it was just kind of predictable to me. Like, oh, okay, we're gonna put the two eating machines together and make it like the joke. However, I love the surprise of Ash doing the whole like, oh, you can't get your food now, like, bleh, like making fun of Morpeko, and then using that as the tactic to get the Durant to leave them alone. I thought that was very smart. Like, that it's like, like I felt like we got to see like some old Ash in there, you know.
Mm.
But on the other hand, I liked the dynamic between Go and Pikachu because I feel like we don't get a lot of long stretches of time where Go and Pikachu are without Ash. So I do like what you said on that front, but I also agree with it being kind of pointless because it didn't catch the Seismitoad.
The thing
So-
about it, I just wanted to add to that, if you don't mind.
That's okay.
The reason why is it felt more one sided, that relationship between Go and Pikachu, because Go was the one that was putting all the pieces together about like how Pikachu's personality and stuff plays out. Except Pikachu never really responded back to that. You know, he just kept on doing his own shit while Go was thinking about it in his head, and Pikachu just did whatever he wanted, pretty much. But at the same time, that's also another good thing with Pikachu just really mimicking Ash's personality there. But I'll pass it on to you now.
It's no, that's yeah. No, I can see that. I have just one more thing. This is a really crazy theory, and this is me putting like 0.1% stock in journeys. Jesse and James getting Eevee to practice the motto. It was hilarious and wholesome. But it's like they're like, oh, one more rehearsal, and then Koharu was like, oh, it looks like Eevee's rehearsing something, or like and then later on Koharu's like, oh, where did Eevee learn that? Is this building up to something for Koharu and Eevee? Like, I'm not
a bunch of shit.
I mean, I'm not trying to say, oh, maybe they're gonna go the coordinator route, but it was interesting. Because Eevee seemed to enjoy this whole thing, but with journeys,
Eevee did the same thing with the Vaporeon thing, and then later it was like, nah, I don't want to be a Vaporeon. Fuck that.
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
not even in terms of evolving, just in terms of like what Koharu's gonna do, but I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait till the future to see that.
Yeah.
I'm turning into Kuro, who's in the chat.
No, but it's a good analogy, though.
Except we're not going to spend 45 minutes on the same thing.
I think Eevee's whole
We love him
gimmick
anyway.
is that
We love you, man.
We love you, Kuro.
I think Eevee's whole gimmick is that it just copies things.
That's all I have.
All right. Tis,
Rating.
yes?
Yeah, I'd give it a 7. A 7.5. I enjoyed it. I laughed honestly the whole time. Very enjoyable.
All right. I'll take the reins next. Probably this is out of all the split episodes that we got throughout this meta series, this is either the second best or the top for me. I think the only reason why that is because it wasn't as cookie cutter as the other ones, realistically. I mean, there is
got the pun.
Yeah, cookie cutter, yeah, right. And that was an unintentional pun, by the way.
That makes it better.
Yes. Because it's like the first of all, the whole Gigaru, actually, I wonder if they were low key referring to like Pokemon Edo cannot be W. Gigaru, Gigaru, that whole thing. Probably 0.1% or 0.7% chance of that happening. And then just to see that whole, the whole Durant freaking hole, and it's like, oh, what's in the hole? And then just freaking, Pikachu and Grookey just freaking whoop yeet down the fucking hole. Just the whole but actually with that in that regard, I did really like the matchups. Now, yeah, Go and Pikachu were a bit one-sided, but I would say that it is proving that I guess Go is finally like understanding how Pokemon think. Because if you think about that scene where the scene with the size of Toad where he says, "Oh, I see a little bit of Satoshi in you," it's like now he's realizing, because now that he's noticed like all of the different patterns that Pikachu has, like very very forward minded and wanting to lead and everything like that, and then trying to go into the things without without not exactly without thinking, because you have to remember that try to do a fucking thunderbolt on the size of a Toad and that shit ain't gonna work.
This will be like the third
yeah.
Pokemon Pikachu shocked and journeys that's a ground type.
Yeah, that's what it is. The whole Koharu and Yath thing, not only because of the really like appreciation in the backstory, but Yath wanted to be with her. Like, seriously, what do you think of the end where he's trying to confess and he's like freaking so nervous about it, and then all of a sudden Musashi appears like, oh, and then that fucking just completely kills it. But the way that it was denied was just so funny. His face on the denial, I cannot take anything away from that. The whole Heatmore thing with the Wobbuffet, that was fucking hilarious. Just pissing them off, and then that was enough for them to fucking get driven back into the fucking hole. That was funny. Satoshi and Morpeko, it was okay, but the one or two of the jokes fell flat for me. In terms of that. And then the rockets and Eevee, that sequence was priceless. Just to see them break the fourth wall with that, I think that's what we needed. A moment where they realize that fourth wall breaking is usually in other series, but we don't see it too much here.
Mm-hmm.
But I like to see it in this context. Yeah. Well, I'll get on the fucking 4 train and I'll talk with Zach another day. But with that being said, I really enjoyed this episode. This episode was much more entertaining than I expected it to be, because I thought it was going to be some bullshit about we were going to just get Kling Klang or Giyaru instead of just this guy who fucking trolled people. By the way, I like the fucking troll reference where it's like, oh yeah, those drawings, I drew them and I posted them online. Yeah. I love that. And the fake leak shit. Yeah, I love that. He was the leaker. The fake leak shit. That was some great shade that they pulled off. And with that being said, like I said, and I thought the pacing was fine. Once again, the pacing in this episode was pretty damn good. I actually wanted more. I wanted more, to be honest. I didn't want it to end that quickly. But to be honest, out of if I had to give a rating, 8.2. Very solid, very nice.
All right. Well, then Tyrone, we're gonna pass this on to you, buddy. Curious to hear your take on this. So go right ahead, buddy.
AG did this plot better because they swapped the characters up too. So I'm gonna point that out right now.
All right.
Because keeping Team Rocket together kind of defeats the purpose of them getting jumbled up. I mean, yeah, Meowth's taken out, but it's Meowth. So Meowth's been with the cast more than any member in Team Rocket, Jesse and James included. So I like when they take Jesse or take James out and put him in a different situation. Hell, in AG, they literally had Ash and James team up to fight off Jesse and May. Like, that was done better. So I'm pointing that out right there. Like, I don't know. I get what they were going for, and this would have worked a lot better if, they had more Pokemon. James and Jesse don't have any fucking Pokemon except for Pekko and Meowth. I mean, they technically have more Pokemon, but they don't.
Actually, that's a fun little thing to bring up because didn't they reference in this episode that the reason why the machine never came was because apparently Jesse broke it or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Meowth's supposed to fix it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it never happened.
And
But
just-
continue on.
And
Though.
I don't like Go and Pikachu's combination. It's dumb. Yeah, Pikachu's worked better with other people. Pikachu has been under the ownership of other people temporarily and has done way better. Case in point, shit, you can use any example. Pikachu with Misty during the Princess competition. Pikachu with Serena during the whole XY mix-up thing. Pikachu and Karina during the fucking, when Karina used Pikachu.
Pikachu
Like-
and Lily.
Pikachu and Lily, actually. Thank you. The Sun and Moon one. Yeah, Pikachu's just worked better with other people. I'm not sure why he acts like an idiot now, but whatever. I know the main one was supposed to be Meowth and Koharu. I didn't care about that one, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. I feel like there should have been, if this was supposed to be the focus, I feel like we should have more screen time devoted to this one. And I know we have the most screen time devoted to this one, but I feel like it all happens so quickly because they're jumbling up other plots together. So at this point, we're dealing with that, but it doesn't really go anywhere. And even when, like, at the end when Meowth confesses his love and the joke is that, like, he confesses it to Jesse instead, it doesn't really feel like they do anything with it. It feels like it exists and therefore it is. I'm gonna have to give this one to OG. OG found a way better way to do this where, like, we not only got some good character interactions with them, but they would still tell the joke much better. And here, they just don't. Like, it feels like it's a weaker version of what already exists. Now, what does impress me, and this is the one that a lot of people said was the weakest, Ash and Morpeko's combination. I like their combination, actually, because it's the first time that anyone has actually challenged Morpeko. Normally, when Morpeko throws a fit, that's it. Like, everybody just sort of has to bend to the whim of it. Ash and Morpeko's dynamic, it reminded me a lot of Ash and C in episode 1 Pikachu. If that makes any sense. Like how Pikachu was in episode 1. So, this worked really well because now we have an Ash who's dealt with an ignorant ass electric rodent. He knows what to do. He even found a way to utilize Morpeko's greed to his advantage by having Morpeko use Stomping Tantrum. James owns Morpeko, but Ash is the only one who's actually commanded it in battle. So at this point, it shows a combination of Ash being able to actually use a Pokemon that would otherwise be impossible to use due to disobedience. This isn't Ash's first disobedient Pokemon, after all. He's had several. So Ash definitely shows that he took charge here. It's a nice combination of OG Ash and the mischievousness of that, combined with the leadership roles that he's taken in XY and as well as in Journeys in Sun and Moon. We get to actually see Ash utilize Morpeko to his advantage, probably because Ash kind of relates to it because he's like a glutton, as Serena dubbed him in the XY. So it's really good to see that Ash actually knows where Morpeko's coming from, and he can find a way to utilize Morpeko effectively. It kind of weirdly makes a situation where what if Ash actually caught Morpeko? And to me, he's a better trainer for Morpeko than James is. Because with James, when Morpeko turns into his hangry mode, it's just a woe is me ass situation. Like, oh no, he's angry, he's hungry, what are we gonna do? No. Ash is like, hey, fuck you, I know you're hungry, but we gotta work together. Otherwise, we're gonna die, so deal with it. Like, Ash is the only person in this series at this point to take some actual authority on Morpeko. He's the only one I think that's strong enough to train this thing. But they gave it to James, so that's weird. So yeah, I like their combination. It's a nice way to show that Ash has grown, while at the exact same time show that he has this weird, like, back and forth with the Pokemon and isn't afraid to get down and dirty with it. Whereas Team Rocket, they're just sort of victims. Ash is like, I'm no victim. Fuck Morpeko. I don't care how hungry he is. I'll eat this cookie while he's eating this cookie. I'll eat all the cookies. Fuck him. Fuck you. Like, I like the attitude. So, yeah, that's my favorite duo in the group. I only wish they had been used more. The problem with them is like I remember Zach said it. They don't go anywhere. They're in the same spot the whole time. I think that's why a lot of people don't like them. I like them because it's a nice sample of how Ash has grown to fight off disobedient and arrogant Pokemon. I mean, he even dealt with Snorlax, so at this point, he knows hungry Pokemon. So yeah, this reflected that. It was a good episode for Ash, terrible for everybody else.
Which is funny because the main focus I feel was supposed to be for Koharu and Meowth, and
Whatever. I didn't like their plot.
yeah, at the end of the day,
Yeah,
that's all.
I wasn't digging their plot. I mean, I get where they were going with their plot, but I wasn't digging it. And then if we want to go further, I guess Grookey and Wobbuffet. The problem is that their shit happens towards the end.
Well, they kind of had to because they had to lure in the Pokemon.
Right, but by the time it happens towards the butt end, I would have liked at least a running joke of them like Wobbuffet and Grookey dealing with each other.
You don't want that because guess what the fuck happened about, fucking 4 months ago? You don't want that shit.
I mean, it could have just been a nice little cutaway. There could have been a nice little transition scene, like Wobbuffet and Grookey running, and then it transitions to another scene, like the old-fashioned, like OG ones, where they do the doom 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 doom.
It's like, go be like, I wonder where Grookey is. And then it just transitions to Grookey whacking the shit out of Wobbuffet with the net. And then 2 seconds later just goes back to go and be like, I hope he's okay.
Yeah, and when Wobbuffet slams the net down, it transitions to the next scene, which is what happened. It's just like, and I want to say Sun and Moon and XY actually did it, where Ash moves his hand, and him moving his hand shows the next scene behind his hand. Like, I thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, like honestly, and KG pointed out the biggest flaw. Go has a lot of Pokemon. So why didn't he use any of them? Well, he can't. Otherwise, this dynamic doesn't work.
And also, they would have been done with this episode.
Yeah, back then, when Pokemon did this dynamic, normally there was some caveat. The Pokemon were separated, the Pokeballs were in different areas. There was some way they just couldn't use the Pokemon they had on hand at time, or they would have to use them temporarily in order to deal with the situation. And, of course, I don't think I need to tell anybody this. Ash and Co., along with Team Rocket, has had way better We Gotta Work Together episodes. My favorite being the one where they're trapped in the St. Anne.
Well, to be fair, this wasn't a we gotta work together situation because they never did anything in the end.
Well, it became that towards the end once they had to run away from the Durant and Heat more. They
just like said, listen.
But that wasn't the main focus of it.
And also, they didn't cause the Durant fights. It was more of an accidental kind of situation where there's like, oh, well, I guess these two hate each other. Let's take the opportunity now to get our asses out of here.
I mean, yeah, but they still, like, the Team Rocket and the twerps, as they call them, are still in the same setting, and they know the same things that are happening. Oh, shit, this is happening. We gotta get out of here. Like, I honestly, like, Team Rocket's had way better interactions with Ash and the group, and I think this is one of the few times where we get Ash, Go, and Koharu, along with Jesse, James, and Meowth. But, like, my favorite has been the one where, like, I like the one in OG, I believe, where they're doing the motto and Psyduck's there in the motto, and Misty has to like grab Psyduck, like, you're not on their side, you idiot. Like,
well, remember, Pill Drunk Man did that. So
I know it was just done better. I like because Psyduck didn't really do anything; he was just there.
Once again, we also have to be realistic here, and as I mentioned before, a few months back, is that the landscape of the writing, the writing team has changed tremendously in the last 10 years. So even comparing End of Diamond and Pearl to the beginning of Kanto in 1997, there are still significant changes. So it all depends on what what the showrunner wants to do and what they want to do with that. And they have to do something different in order to try to appease, the current generation. Because, like I said, you don't want to do the same shit over and over, because then people don't want to watch the damn show.
I mean, well, this formula's been done to death. Like the scrambling of Ash and Team Rocket and the group, it's been done to death. But if you're gonna do it to death again, if you're gonna repeat it, I'm sure there's different things you can do to make it funnier, or like KG said before, comedy's subjective, but at the exact same
Yeah.
time, you can do the same joke but with different context, or you can change the joke around. I've been doing comedy for years. Like there's several different styles of doing.
Yeah,
So
and
doing one joke.
it's all on different interpretations too. A person that you know
I just
you
think
can
this
see
isn't
the
the best way of using the joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can see where they were going with that. I think there was more. It was more like they did the separation to try to build up more backstory, not
Yeah.
as opposed to more comedic things. It could
It's
like
also, to me, it's also a weird time for this joke because we're just now getting more frequent like Ash Go and Koharu episodes where they're all three together. We just got into these after, like, I want to say episode 50 is when I think Koharu finally was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll hang out with Ash and Go a little bit more.
Well, that's also when we got the shift as well. Remember?
the shift was 64.
Was it 64? I thought it was in 50 something.
Yeah.
Was it
It's
50,
it,
50
like,
sorry, 56 or 55?
Yeah,
like,
in the mid 50s,
my
basically.
point being is like it's very obvious these three should have just been a trio from Gate. I know the reasons why they didn't do it, but now looking back at it, it just looks like they fumbled the ball way too many times, and they're like, we got it, and I'm like, yeah, you got it, but look at what you had to do to get it. It's a problem now. Like if Ash, Go, and Koharu had already been an established trio, I think this would have worked a little bit better. I'm just now getting used to Koharu being frequently with Ash and Go. So it's really hard for me to go, yep, that's a funny episode of scrambling up our cast. I'm like, yep, we got the cast together. This all six of them. They're here now. Like it's a mess. It's a fucking mess. It's like finally cleaning your room and then throwing something in there and suddenly it sprays all over the room. It's like, yeah, you cleaned your room, but at what cost? I don't know.
For
Also,
free.
5 out of 10. 5 out of 10, by the way. It's an average ass episode.
Alrighty.
Wait, there are Chloe and Meowth AMVs? Oh no.
Probably.
Listen, if it exists, there's gonna be AMVs of it.
I mean, if there
That's
had
the
been
saying,
more
right?
episodes of Meowth like with Koharu, like isolated with Koharu for brief moments, I could buy this. But it
Well,
happens
who's
here.
to say it might not come back again later? Because they
Yeah,
really
but
left it
then-
off on an interesting note at the
Yeah,
end.
but guess where we have to put that pile in?
Another way.
The wait and see pile. You know that thing that's full right now. You okay in there, Zapdos? Yeah, I know they're coming back. Don't worry, they're coming back.
Yeah, and then the
don't
Zapdos
worry.
like, eh.
Don't worry, sir. Don't worry, Sir Fetch. You'll get another battle. Don't worry. Yeah, I know your battle was over, but don't worry. Gary, you in there? Yeah, no. Okay. Mewtwo?
Mewtwo! It's Mewtwo!
You in there, buddy?
Yeah. Okay, so now it's time to actually talk about some interesting shit that's going to be happening.
Yeah,
All right.
the most interesting
we are
shit.
not-
We're no new
So-
episode.
Yeah, so here's the deal. If you watched the episode on VOD, well, on video on demand services like Amazon, you'll see the episode where all the failings come, right? But we're not getting that shit. But we're not getting that shit until July the 16th. Now, the reasoning is truly because of this. Usually July is the month where Pokemon usually showcases the previous movie. What's the problem? Well, guess what? We didn't have a fucking movie that came out in July. It came out in December. So they cannot fucking show Coco because Coco is literally getting the damn Blu-ray release on the fucking the 14th. So literally they can't do that.
Yeah.
So what they're doing next week is they're going to be doing a 1-hour compilation special. However, though, in the sponsor plugs at the end, they said that there's going to be a new video in this special.
Yeah, which is what
So-
everybody was already assuming that it's going to be because the trailer we got a while back already had all of their shit shown
Compilation.
off.
It's a compilation. It's a compilation of basically the best moments of the series so far. That's usually how they do these specials, these compilation specials. It's kind of like AG 120 and like DP special that was Actually, no, it was the only one I could think off the top of my head is like
Clip show.
the clip show, the AG 120 clip show.
Mm.
Basically the same in the same vein, but this is an hour special.
Yeah, and like you said, because
And
there's no movie, then we're just gonna have to work
well,
with
and
something else.
that also means that also means probably there's gonna be nothing on the 9th either. So yeah, so and also next time it'll be episode 100, so I guess that'll be the perfect chance to talk about crap.
Now, here's the thing,
Yeah.
though. I don't know if it's going to be a new trailer for the Journey series. I'll be shocked if somehow that's supposed to be for a new film coming out later in the year as well. Because I don't know if they're going to release a film this year, but it's just something to start to think about.
Dogasu thinks that there's not. There's probably gonna wait another year till like 2023.
Yeah, we're probably gonna get the trailer for the next film in December, like they normally do,
Yeah,
which then will lead into the next series. And then also, thank you for the follow, Leon. Much appreciated. But yeah, it's supposed to be like a film, but whatever. That's not the point. That's in the winter time. We're in the season of summer. So it's probably going to be a trailer showcasing whatever the hell they're going to have for this upcoming summer season for Pocket Monsters 2019. No
yeah,
idea what the hell it's going to be. People are thinking we're going to be seeing more characters come back, specifically with the DP remakes coming out really soon. People are assuming Dawn's going to show up at some point. We might actually get to see Ash's old companions, Brock and Misty, show up as well. So given that article that came out a while ago
yeah.
with Tomiyasu saying he wants to try to bring back
Everybody,
everybody, and when he says everybody, we mean even
everyone.
even the ones that you think is impossible to get is probably also going to come back, and that's of course none other than with May.
Yeah.
That's going to be the most interesting one out of the entire cast because of
Yeah,
complications
yeah,
with the VA.
because Cowdy, we know has recovered from her dysphonia, but the whole thing is she going to come out of retirement?
Yeah, that's the issue there. Well, we don't know. Maybe she'll come back to reprise her role, or maybe she'll just come back, she won't come back at all. And the only thing they'll do with May is that they'll have her show off via like a flashback, and that's it. Like how they did with Silence so far in Journeys, where he's in a flashback, but he's never actually mentioned in the series itself.
Yeah, good luck getting him.
Yeah, Mr. Million Dollar Man over here, fucking still mad we never got an ending song with this guy. Still so mad about that. But
I
not.
just, you guys know how I am about bringing back characters versus like using the cast we already got.
Yeah,
I would
but
rather.
Go on.
To me, I'm more of a establish the cast you got and make some good OG characters for. I mean, not OG as in the OG season. I mean OG as in original characters from the series that they come from. Establish them first before you start bringing like other ones back. People forgot who Rento is. Like that. That I think that kind of proves my point right there. Like nobody really fucks with Rento. Y'all remember him? No? Okay,
Yeah.
whatever. like just I don't know. It's just to me, yeah. B is in the D pile right now. Thank you. That's a good point. Yeah, like you got a whole cast. Use them first before you start. So I don't know the bring backs. I call them bring backs. You all know what those mean. We look on Twitter and we see, oh, bring back this character. Bring back. Don't bring back shit. Develop the characters you got. Your cast. I like the new characters that we got in the Project Mew episode. Why? Because they're new and they can be established. These are just like you don't like when you bring back a character. You don't like the episode. You like where they came from. Like at that point, you don't like when fucking Iris came back. You like Best Wishes. Like just say you want to watch Best Wishes then. Shit. Cause it's got nothing to do with Journeys at that point. You don't give a shit about Journeys. You give a shit about where they came from.
Well, that's an interesting take on
I
it.
think that goes back to the whole episodic structure thing. Like, I feel like people would care more about Rinto and some of the other characters if, like, they appeared more often the same way some of the other, like, side characters in previous generations did. Like,
Yeah.
even, like, what's his name? Sophocles' rival, Horatio?
Oh, the race car guy. I remember him.
Yeah, he showed
like,
up multiple times in the series.
yeah,
He did.
a lot of the Alola people did.
Nah, but see,
So,
in fact, I remember this was an issue when people were saying that Misty and Brock were coming back despite it being a small region, and we fleshed out all of the side characters. I remember people were still mad about them coming back. It's like, but so like, I don't know. Like, I can never tell what people want at this point. You guys
I didn't
ask for it,
mind
and
Brock
then
and Misty. I didn't mind Brock and Misty coming to Alola because Ash and them already went to Kanto, so it evened out. Like that made sense. Like canonically, they said they were gonna do it and they did it. That doesn't bug me at all.
mm-hmm.
I think the problem I had, and Polly brought it up, is like when you establish your. Okay, so remember when Misty came back, but May was established already at this point, so she didn't lose any of her spotlight when Misty came back. So when Misty came back, May did like this little whole maze expedition joke for a while. It's basically May invented fucking live cast streaming before live cast streaming existed. Because she kept doing like this, it's a time for another maze expeditions or whatever. She basically invented vlogging before it existed, and I loved it.
Well, actually, was actually parroting those TV Tokyo travel shows.
Well, yeah, but the way she viewed it, she's a kid. You know, more than likely it felt like what someone would do now if they had their like phone with them, and they would stream themselves doing random shit.
Yeah.
They would totally be down for that. And that was her joke, and we like it helped her and elevated her character enough to where yes, Misty's here, but May ain't like gone. So it works because it was a dynamic going. Here we get a new character, and all the old characters don't matter. Shit, Journey's made a damn joke about it with Go. Once Gary came back, Go was a fucking irrelevant piece, and the episode's supposed to be about him.
I find it ironic though in the Alola episode, where the episode did center on him.
Nobody gave a shit. Yeah, but it was like that. I don't like, my core problem isn't the fact that characters are coming back. My core problem is when they're coming back, but you have an OG cast. You have a cast straight from the series that they're in getting outshined by old characters simply because they don't want to help their new characters grow.
I'm hoping that at least now they're going to really flesh out the characters before they bring anybody else back.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, I don't know because like at this point I've kind of like lost. Like, here's my thing with Journeys. It wasn't with this statement. I feel Journeys is sadly going to be that series that's going to only be referred to as the returning series.
Yep. See, KJ, you hit the nail right on the head as my problem.
Because people are relying on the nostalgia factor, I think.
Now you guys are getting it. Thank you. God.
No, we got it.
I do get it.
But I still appreciate the series.
Yeah,
no. I know you guys got it, but I'm glad this is finally being brought to the limelight. Like, I've been saying this for a while, and people just don't call me a hater.
I mean, the whole point. The whole point though was it was supposed to be a celebration of all the regions, and I knew that it was going to be in that sort of vein. However, though, like I said, we've been pulled in a lot of different directions because honestly, they didn't know what the fuck they wanted to do.
And also, it wasn't really like something that we ignored, but rather it was something that really got like bigger now thanks to the statement that Tomiyasu said regarding bringing back all the companions. Like, it was something in our heads, and I think for many as well.
Yeah,
but
it was
never
to
that point until Tomiyasu brought up saying, "Now we're gonna bring back everybody," and that's when the
attention. When the head production staff just fucking says, yeah.
And I just want to make it again clear for the 50th time. I'm not mad when the characters come back. I'm upset when I see that the characters that are established in the series that exist get pushed out of the way for the characters coming back. That's my issue. Like I said, the Sun and Moon did okay with the Brock and Misty coming back because honestly, said this 1,000 times. While Sun and Moon isn't my favorite, their cast is strong as shit. Like, you cannot take that away from them. That's what Sun and Moon has. They have a strong ass family bonded ass cast. Hell, that's the whole theme of the damn series. But like, that's why when Brock and Misty came back, Sophocles, Kiawe, Lana, and Mallow and the other, they didn't lose out to them. I mean, yeah, they had some weird moments.
It felt more like they got added to the cast, not overshadowed the cast.
If anything, it felt like Brock and Misty were being added to the Sun and Moon cast rather than the other way around. Where the dynamic was, ooh, look, Brock and Misty are here. Like, from the very moment where you had that moment where Ash, Kiawe, and Sophocles, all the dudes, basically, are running away from Onyx, or when you have the girls swimming and stuff like that, it was all cohesive. Whereas here, when an old character comes back, Go's just sitting in his little spectator seat while some other character explains all the shits. Iris became champion. Well, you weren't there, so, you had to be there.
Actually, that is a good point, because, like, Karina was the same thing with that.
Chuck.
She showed up. Ash had to pretty much explain, Ash and Professor Oak had to explain Gary's story. Yep. With Iris, same thing as well. He got shelved to the side.
With Drayden.
With Drayden, and Drayden was the one that brought all the info.
Chuck and B did the exact same thing.
Yep. Chuck was a little weird, but yeah.
So, yeah. But my point is that's literally my point. This is what happens when you bring an older character back. You go to the background or any other like OG characters that are established. They don't mean anything at this point, and it's just a problem. Like I said, I'm giving Sun and Moon its props because they added them to the cast, so their return didn't feel like such a... It didn't feel gimmicky. It didn't feel like, here, Brock and Misty are back, and that's all you need to know.
It didn't feel like they needed to push out the main cast aside from Ash just to make it like... It feels more like that series episode rather than a Journeys episode, which is why when I talked about the Sun and Moon episode, I hated as a Journeys episode because of how irrelevant that episode was to the overall structure of the narrative within Journeys. But as a Sun and Moon episode, it's probably one of the best episodes because it felt like a natural conclusion to the series as a whole. Not just to the cast of characters, but to Sun and Moon as a whole.
And someone's going to come at me and be like, in the Sun and Moon episode, Kiawe fought Go and Ash was sitting in the back. Let me make it clear. Why were they fighting? Because of Ash. He's the centerpiece. He's the one that the fight revolves around.
And also, it doesn't really mean anything because we never got to see any continuation of that story so far. Kiawe never came back, and what did that episode serve in the current time when that aired? Because everybody's assumption was thinking Ash was gonna gain back his confidence in that episode as a way to counterattack B, and he was thinking that maybe he needed to get a little bit of that Alola air to kind of refresh his memory and get him back in his A game again. None of that happened.
No, that's better writing, KG. That's better writing.
So, that's what I'm saying. Like, as a Journeys episode, it's ass. But, like, if you view it as a Sun and Moon episode and you view it as an epilogue episode, it is phenomenally better than what it wanted to be.
And that Sun and Moon episode with Ash, Misty, Brock, and them, where they fight them as gym leaders, that eventually is a foreshadowing for the eventual Alola League we get. So that at least adds to an already moving plot. Whereas here they are. Oh, and here's a baby. Like, the fuck?
And I hate that they spoiled the baby before the episode even aired. I know that has nothing to do with what's being talked about, but I just still hate that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't want to go off on a tangent. I'm always saying be wary of when they bring back characters, because you don't want bringing back characters to be the selling point of an episode, and then they bring them back and you wind up in situations where you're mad. Because I've heard a lot of people on Twitter get mad when certain characters come back because they're not given justice, or they're not doing everything they wanted them to do. And I'm looking at this going, the reason that's the case is because obviously you wanted them to basically relive the entire series in one episode, and that ain't gonna happen.
And that's the issue. One episode.
You're not gonna get AG in one episode. You're not gonna get Best Wishes in one episode. You're not gonna get the entirety of fucking OG in one episode. It's just not gonna happen. I'm sorry. That's why people were so mad when Ash saw his Pokemon again. He saw his Pokemon for what, 10, 30 seconds?
Hmm. Actually, I think
Yeah.
it was counted like a minute and 5. or
Yeah,
something.
somebody actually did count it.
45 seconds apparently.
Yeah, I'm just saying, keep your hype to a reasonable level, because
This
You
is
don't wanna-
journeys we're talking about.
yeah, not even just that. We don't want people to rage on the internet and start doing ignorant shit like talking shit to the writers. Because I don't like journeys, but I'm not gonna sit here and do death threats to the writers like some of these insane ass.
Well,
fucking
that's because they don't know how to act in front of people.
That's God. I mean, you're right, TSS. I'm just saying, it's sad.
It is sad. It's a sad state of affairs. As I said, social media is one of the worst things that happen because it gives people that have zero social skills and have an ability to interact with people a platform to vent. Now it's not taking anything away from the people who actually need help, because there are people that actually have issues and they need help, and I'm glad there's a platform for it. But the problem is there are people that are unaware that they have a problem, and then they start shit, and then they can't get it resolved, and then we end up with fucking flame wars, and then it's like, well, bringing the pizza box into the fucking apartment on fire. That's the whole fucking thing.
You set the pizza box on fire?
What are you, Spencer?
Maybe.
But yeah,
there's
that's
a
pretty
reference
much
to
what we
that
wanted
name,
to
by the
get
way.
to.
Only a few people will get it.
Holly, I don't know if you agree or disagree with any of the statements that I've had, because I know, I'm sorry, you are one of the ones that do like the comebacks and the callbacks and shit like that. I didn't want to seem like I'm coming off super aggressive against it. I just want to say callbacks are great when you establish something along with them. So
Hey, some people in the
I
chat
didn't-
caught my reference. Nice.
I didn't want to be that guy.
Don't worry. It's
No,
listen,
but no. And I always say this. The reason why that we've meshed very well together is because we have different takes on everything, and I think that really is, and we do it in an entertaining manner that seems chaotic, but is actually quite organized, all things considered.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, as we've said many times before, we could beat the shit out of each other, but then we shake our hands and then we say, "Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's like
Dust ourselves off next time."
you know that Wile E. Coyote and the dog shit in Looney Tunes?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the shit.
The fucking time clock. They go to the
Yeah,
fucking
and then
time
we
clock.
we just stamp our shit and
The
we're like,
punch clock. Like
yeah, exactly. That's exactly our personality as a whole. We do this shit, but then
it's
when
like,
it's over,
it's like 10 p.m. punch. I hate XY. Fuck you, Tyrone. 12:01 a.m. punch again. Okay, cool. Let's watch some fucking videos.
yeah, like, hey man, homie, I got this cool video I want you to watch.
I thought that was when I bothered Kevin. Do 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 do.
Oh no, I'm the roadrunner in that situation. I think.
Yeah,
You're the-
you
I'm
are,
referring
you
to
are.
the dog, the one with the
Oh,
sheep episodes.
But I guess if we
Yeah,
can pull
dude,
anything
yeah.
from this, just
Yes.
be careful. That's all.
Yeah.
all
Just
I'm
be
asking.
aware. Just be aware. Just enjoy. If you enjoy it,
Enjoy
fine.
with caution. Yes.
And well, I mean, enjoy it in a reasonable fashion. But it's
Yeah.
like, but the thing is though, if you're not getting what you want, then don't fucking fall. Just don't fucking fall from a fucking giant tree, or act like you fell from a fucking tree and broke your fucking arm if it doesn't meet up to your expectation.
Yeah.
Because we have to live in a world where you have to be reasonable with your expectations,
Yes.
and people want too fucking much.
I still think the highlight was when we had to basically save the entire internet after the date episode in X and Y where everybody didn't get what they fucking wanted.
And we talked about we talked about it for fucking what? Fucking 3 hours.
3 hours.
And then
Yeah.
we were completely fucking wrong.
3 months ago. Like,
3
That
months
will
ago.
always be great.
but I mean, technically, they did get the kiss they wanted. It's just at the end of the series, not the episode they wanted. But yeah, just just enjoy, but be reasonable. That's all. Just reasonably enjoy something.
Yeah, and also people have also mentioned different version of the super effective typing this week. I did like that.
That was cool. I like that.
Yeah, I'm liking that they're switching it up. My only thing is, are they going to do that every time, or how many different variations? It should be fun to see how many different variations. It's probably going to be.
There's a lot of
variations.
there's a lot of type combinations. So
yeah, so maybe we might be able to get one every different episode, I guess, maybe, or something like that.
I hope they take into account Pokemon that have dual typing though.
We also got to see Suba, so in the end.
Yes.
Suba and the little Suba is right there with the flying types. I loved it.
Yes. That's
the Kanabun rumor that's been going around. Apparently, that's kind of been debunked in a way, especially if you take notice as to the account coming out on like yesterday. So clearly, that account was made not too long ago, and I'm a little bummed out. Kanabun is not going to be making the opening if that's the case, but well, can't do anything about that, buddy. All right. Well, I think it's safe to say we can pretty much wrap things up for tonight. What do you guys say to that?
Yeah.
Yes.
I know everybody got to go to the nights real soon,
Yeah.
but before we do so...
I'm awake.
You're awake. All right. Are you sure?
I'm awake. I was watching that.
Yeah.
Yes,
what are we doing again? But anyway, just to clarify, everybody, before we go and wrap things up for tonight, a couple of little things to kind of note before we decide to go night. As you guys know, tonight's session was session number 99.
Ooh.
As in next week, and coincidentally, thanks to that, with there being no episode, next week's episode of the pod is going to be the big 100. We're finally going back to the 100th episode again for the PokePod World podcast now. And as a celebration, man, it's just a nice little opportunity to take that chance to do a Q&A, talk about our past, talk about just where we've been and how far we've come and what we're going to plan to do next. And it's going to be a little simple kind of celebration, At least that's kind of what I want to hope for the 100. But, once again, everybody, KG, can you discuss about Pokemon Unite? I cannot talk about it because I have yet to play it. So I can only talk about it when I get a chance to play it, and I will do it, which I think is coming out in July.
Eat a taco. Hey, I can do. Hey, somebody DoorDash Kevin some taco.
Listen, man, you can DoorDash whatever the hell you want. I'm gonna have that taco right here in the stand. I ain't touching that shit. But I do occasion. Okay, listen. If we get enough support in the 100 pod, where we can do it, I'll tell my mother to make me a taco then, because she can do her homemade ones. So I'll just tell her to do it then. But nah. So the 100th episode, it's gonna be a big, nice moment for the PokePod World podcast. We thank you all so much from the bottom of our hearts for supporting us all the way. We hope to see you guys then. There are a couple of things we're gonna be talking about for that 100th episode and reflecting on our journeys from back in the beginning to where we're at now and what we want to do next and where we would love to see you guys help us out as well moving forward too. So look forward to next week. It's going to be a lot of fun. And with no new episode also coinciding in that same time, it's just going to be pure on just nostalgia ride for the pod series, man. So yeah. We hope to see you guys for that segment in the pod. So before we actually go and call things night, just as a little schedule for the week, obviously just to let people know. I even made one on Twitter, but I'll post it here as well. Obviously, tonight we already had our PokePod World podcast. Tomorrow, though, at 10 p.m., we're going to be having our Pokemon Black 2 White 2 playthrough of Part 6, which is the first full playthrough of the series for me. Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On Wednesday, we're finally going to get back into Mega Man Battle because I kind of put that to the side for a little while. As you guys know, the pandemic and Backstreet Boys kind of played a little role with that, so I couldn't do it at the time. But we're getting back into Mega Man Battle Network on Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thursday, there is no stream, but Friday, though, obviously we're going to be doing our reaction. Now, I know there's no episode, But that trailer in itself could be something worth discussing, and depending on how much content they'll have in there. And if they don't have anything else, we'll work on the Snafu project that I'm working behind the scenes. So that's also another thing to keep an eye on. But aside from that, though, that's pretty much it. Not much more other than those 4 days on my end. As for Tyrone and the others, I don't know on their part, so I'll pass it on to them and let them explain what they're going to be doing for the week.
So for Tabletop Tuesday tomorrow, before KG does his Pokemon Black 2 playthrough, we're gonna be doing Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. I'm getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff again, so I'm sort of on a Yu-Gi-Oh! high.
Nice.
So yeah, so I just recently actually bought the Slifer the Sky Dragon themed deck. So I'm testing that out right now. I'm playing around with the actual cards, and I'm also, gonna buy some more cards and try to collect those. As well as some Pokemon cards too. So we'll be doing Duel Links on Tuesday, and then KG will do Black 2 White 2. Wednesday, we are going to do we're gonna do basically two fighting things. We're gonna do on Wednesday, we're gonna play Smash Brothers again, only this time because Kazuya would have been out by then. I would say like it'd be a day since Kazuya's been out.
Yes.
I think that's the perfect excuse to play Smash Brothers again. So come one, come all I say content creators, PokeTubers, whatever the hell we are. I wanna have a big ass just us playing Smash Brothers again, because I really remember the tournament and that was fun. So I think it's a good excuse to gather a bunch of people together. We could probably make multiple rooms and just play Smash Brothers with the new Kazuya, because I'm gonna download them. And then on Thursday, I'm gonna play what is debatably one of my favorite newest games that have come out at this point, Knockout City. So I'm gonna play that on Thursday. And then we'll be back on Persona 5 Royal. But before that, obviously, there's stuff on Friday, so TSS, take it over.
All right, so on my channel, TSS_Killer, Friday, part 5 of Persona 3 Fest on dub. Having so much fun with that game. Finally beat the first boss in the last part, and now we're just going to be working on grinding onto the next block on Tataris, and then working our way until the second boss, which is probably about 23 days away in game. So catch me Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight for that on my channel. Donnie is the master of putting links in the chat, so you can check that out as well. So yeah, but and then no bonus stream this week either, so that's all I have for Friday.
Alrighty then. So now with all of that out of the way, we hope you guys are looking forward to this week. We got a lot of content for everybody out there, whether it be for the fightings or for the platformings or for the RPGs. It's all here for you guys. So make sure to tune in on everybody's channel. Make sure to have a good time in everybody's channel as well. So for now, we're going to go and wrap things up for tonight. I really have no idea who or what we should raid. Should we raid somebody? Yeah, let's raid somebody. I haven't had a chance to raid anybody. I'm gonna go and actually let me see what she's up to real quick. Hold on, what is she? Oh yeah, Mogi is playing a little bit, isn't she? So you know what? Let's go raid.
Support other streamers, Kevin.
That's what I'm doing, buddy. So we're gonna go and raid Mogi real quick, and we're gonna call it a night. So everybody, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll talk with all you guys later in whatever video we make. Take care, everybody, and as always, have an awesome day. Bye bye.
Wash your fucking hands.
Lol.